You're looking at Kelvin Bryant's numbers for the year, a year in which he played in only 7 games. 3 games into the season, Kelvin Bryant of North Carolina had scored 15 touchdowns, and his style of running was being likened to that of Gale Sayers. But a knee injury in Game 4 shelved him until November. Still, he rushed for over 1,000 yards this year, and a healthy Bryant leads the Tar Heels into the Gator Bowl tonight against Arkansas. The Razorback defense is keyed around one man, number 87, Billy Ray Smith. If the name's familiar, you're right. Dad is the former Baltimore Colts star. At 6'3.5", 228 pounds, Smith is listed as an end, but lines up all over the field, and his play this season made him a consensus All-American. ABC Sports presents, live from Jacksonville, Florida, the 37th annual Gator Bowl. The 9th-ranked North Carolina Tar Heels against the 17th-ranked Arkansas Razorbacks. The Gator Bowl filled to capacity in Jacksonville tonight. Crowd of about 70,000 to look on as the North Carolina Tar Heels come down from Chapel Hill to take on the Arkansas Razorbacks. And this ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by Chevrolet and your local Chevy dealer, who invites you to come in and see the all-new Celebrity and Camaro. Chevy makes good things happen. By the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. And by Prudential. For life, health, auto, or home insurance, when you think about your financial security, see a Prudential agent. Get a piece of the rock, Prudential Insurance. The weather conditions, it's chilly tonight. Temperature this afternoon got up into the 70s. Right now it is 59. Very humid. The wind should be not much of a factor, only 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the northwest. But it has been overcast all day long. It is very foggy right now. It's very difficult for the folks seated in the top rows to even see the field at the moment. And they expect some precipitation during the game. Right now, Lou Holtz leading the Arkansas Razorbacks out onto the turf of the Gator Bowl. 5-3 in the Southwest Conference and 8-3 overall for 1981. A look at their record: 3 consecutive wins and a loss to TCU. A couple of victories over Texas Tech and Texas. Texas was ranked number 1 going into that game, and Arkansas blew them out by 31. And a loss to Houston, 3 more wins, and a loss to SMU when the Mustangs came from behind in the 4th quarter to beat Arkansas in the final game of the season. And here come the North Carolina Tar Heels, ranked 9th in one poll, 11th in the other. Tar Heels, coached by Dick Crum, started the season with 6 consecutive wins. At that point, they were ranked 3rd in the country. Then they lost to South Carolina, came back to beat Maryland. In their biggest game of the season, they lost a heartbreaker in Chapel Hill to Clemson by a score of 10-8. Came back to beat Virginia, and in the game against Duke, they had a healthy Kelvin Bryant back, and he rushed for a school record 247 yards. Hello again, everyone. I'm Al Michaels, and welcome to Jacksonville for what we think will be a most interesting game. It's very difficult to get a line on this game. It's the first time these two teams have ever met in a football game. Arkansas comes out of the Southwest Conference, perennially a very, very tough football conference. North Carolina comes out of the ACC, the Atlantic Coast Conference, and for years people have thought of the ACC as a basketball conference, and indeed the Tar Heel basketball team is currently ranked number 1. But things are changing, of course, with the likes now of Clemson number 1 and North Carolina number 9 in football. And indeed, most people seem to feel North Carolina will win the game tonight. Indeed, they are favored. We are delighted to have back with us, off our injured reserve list from his recent surgery, Ara Parsegian. Coach, how you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling well, doing quite well, thank you. And and delighted to be back working with you.
Great to have you with us again. Let me ask you about the contrast in preparations, which I think is one of the more interesting aspects to this game. What these two teams have done has been vastly different over the past couple of weeks.
Very true, Al, and it's very likely that the key to the outcome of this game may be the way these two teams prepared. Dick Crum of North Carolina took his team about 100 miles south to Daytona Beach, worked out early in the morning, and then did all the tourist things, which included Disney World. They didn't work quite as hard physically as far as contact is concerned, but they're thoroughly prepared. On the other side of the coin, Lou Holtz is angered as we talked to him yesterday about the last 5 minutes of the last game that he played against SMU, where he felt his team wasn't competitive, so this is the way he entered his preparation. He said, there are no first stringers. Everybody will compete just as if we were starting the first practice of the 1981 season. And there's going to be some new faces in there, and the outcome very likely will be the way they prepared.
Also working with us tonight, the former Wishbone quarterback of the University of Oklahoma, now on our staff, of course, and working the sidelines, Steve Davis. Steve?
Thank you, Al. It's well documented that Lou Holtz is a master of tricks and one-liners. He's used one on North Carolina this particular week. Brad Taylor, his freshman starting quarterback, has been plagued all week long with an ankle injury. They've said that he's only at 50% efficiency for this football game. With Tom Jones, the starter regular all season long, on the sidelines in street clothes, and with the two quarterbacks tremendously inexperienced behind him, it looks like it's a bad story for Arkansas, but that's not the fact. It's been aligned by Holtz all week long. He is at 95% effectiveness. He's ready to play the ball game, and so Lou Holtz may have won the one-liners, may have pulled a trick on North Carolina, but the story is that Dick Crum of North Carolina has said all week long, I only want to deliver one line all week long, is that the Tar Heels from North Carolina have won the 37th annual Gator Bowl. So with that, let's go upstairs with Al Michaels and Eric Parseghian for the 37th annual Gator Bowl. Al?
All right, Steve, and as Arkansas gets set to receive the kickoff, it'll be Jeff Hayes to do the booting for North Carolina. One of the changes Arkansas made is in its kick return unit. Danny Walters, number 22, back deep. He has not returned a kick this season. Derek Holloway had been returning them, and Danny Walters is content to down it in the end zone. So we're underway with Arkansas taking over first and 10 at the 20-yard line. The freshman, Brad Taylor, gets the start at quarterback. We'll see Bill Pierce, who played some quarterback earlier in the season, at fullback. Gary Anderson is their leading ground gainer. Mark Missler, his brother John, caught a touchdown pass for the New York Giants yesterday. You've got Holloway on the other side as the wideout. So Arkansas operating from a veer, first and 10 from the 20-yard line. Taylor's numbers for the season. He became a starter after an injury to Jones in mid-year. And he'll put it up on first down. Incomplete. The intended receiver was Bill Pierce coming out of the backfield. It'll be second down. Check out the men up front. You've got Ronnie Trusty, a good one, at 257 pounds. Charles Ginn weighs in at 260, left guard. Jay Beckett, whose dad played at Arkansas, a 260-pounder. Cord is outstanding, the right guard, number 66. And Tegahoff at right tackle weighs in at 262 with Darrell Mason. They go to him a lot through the air. He caught 23 balls this season at tight end. Second down, 10. Razorbacks from the 20-yard line. And again, the freshman to throw. Incomplete and nearly picked off at the 40-yard line. Mark Missler was the intended receiver. Lou Holtz sending in a play. So Taylor has come out throwing. But it's third down and 10.
Well, the thing that Lou Holtz likes to do is to loosen up the secondary and the defense so that he can establish a running game. And even if they don't complete the passes, he likes to do that.
The North Carolina defensive unit. Third down, 10. Quarterback draw. And out to the 25. Chris Ward making the stop. So the Tar Heels have held on the first series. You'll see Lou Holtz tonight all night long, pacing back and forth and back and forth. He is Arkansas's perpetual man in motion.
He wears out more than one pair of shoes in a season.
Bruce Leahy, who is also the Arkansas place kicker, averaging just a shade under 39 yards a kick, puts it in the air from the 15-yard line. A high hanging kick that bounces at the 43 and is down at the 45-yard line. A 30-yard kick by Leahy, and North Carolina starts with Ron Elkins. Tender ankle, the quarterback. James Jones, the fullback. There is Bryant, the man we highlighted earlier, the tailback, over 1,000 yards. The wideouts, Mark Smith and John Richardson, whose father, Jerry, was a former wide receiver with the Baltimore Colts. North Carolina basically operates from the I. 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. That's Smith in motion. And they start with Bryant immediately. Delvin gets to the 50, and he stopped there. So he gets about 5. Bert Zinneman made the initial contact. Up front, Brian Blados, who is weighing in at close to 300. Drexler is all-conference. Johnston is the center. McGrew will see a lot of action there, too. Another all-conference guard on the other side, and Ron Sproul, Mike Marr, the right tackle. Elkins throwing to the 44-yard line to John Richardson. Nathan Jones covering on the play. And a first down.
Using Victor Harrison, number 9, coming in to call the plays. This is the way North Carolina does it. They'll signal some, and they'll also substitute to get the information in. There's Dick Crum right there.
They have Harrison in the slot, and now he is in motion and resetting himself on the left side from the 43-yard line. It's Bryant inside the 35, gets to the 30. Ron Matheny makes the tackle. So for most people in the country tonight, a good look at a man who is somewhat underpublicized, but really came into his own this season. Delvin Bryant.
He really is something. We saw him twice earlier in the year. He hurt his knee. Look at the moves. He's very quick. He's a Gale Sayers type runner, as you pointed out, Al. He's terrific.
First down, Carolina at the 30-yard line. Elkins on a straight drop and throwing over the middle and too high. Intended for Mark Smith. It'll be second down. Elkins is basically a sprint-out type passer, but his mobility has been somewhat limited, especially of late era, and should be tonight.
Right. Dick Crum said yesterday that he was not going to sprint him to the corner at all. He's going to the pocket with him as much as he can because of that ankle. And it's not unlikely that we might see the shotgun to reduce the pressure on his ankle.
And that is a formation that Carolina has not used this season. Second down, 10. North Carolina from the 30-yard line. Elkins shoveling it inside to Bryant. Inside the 25, a nice move and a first down to the 17. He's a slipper and a slider, and Lou Holtz has his hands full already.
A little gadget in there that they slipped Bryant from the inside. And Elkins just dropped that ball off to him, and the pass rush came from the outside. Watch this thing open up right here. You see Elkins is lined up to the wing back to the left. Elkins just shovels the ball to the inside, and this is the thing that Bryant can do so well. Look at him cut to the outside away from tacklers. He knows where they are. I think he's an excellent runner.
First down, North Carolina just inside the Arkansas 17. Elkins throwing out in the flat and incomplete. Bryant, the intended receiver, and he was covered by Ron Matheny.
You know, Al, coming into this ball game, it seemed as if, and there's Crum, of course, calling the next play, but coming into this game, North Carolina had all their injuries during the season, losing Elkins, their quarterback, and Bryant, and they came into this game healthy, whereas Arkansas came into this ball game with an awful lot of injuries, which we can talk about as the game progresses.
Meanwhile, Bryant goes out for a breather, and Tyrone Anthony, number 8, comes in as the tailback. He shifts into that slot. On second down, Anthony gets 3 to the 14-yard line, and it's Billy Ray Smith, number 87, the All-America. As I say, All-America at defensive end. You've got to give a man a position when you name an All-America team, but Billy Ray is all over the field.
Well, the multiplicity of the Arkansas defense is such that you might see him at end, at tackle, linebacker. This is the third game I've seen Arkansas. I think I've seen Billy Ray everywhere but the secondary.
Third down, call it a long 6 at the 13. And Smith in motion. Elkins with a fake. Protected well, throwing for the corner of the end zone and incomplete. Mark Smith was open and the pass was overthrown.
Oh, he was wide open. All Elkins had to do was put the ball to him, but he overthrew him. Good route. Look here, you can't see an Arkansas defender anywhere around. He overthrows him here. He is absolutely wide open for a score, and Elkins overthrows.
So the Carolina drive bogging down, and they'll try to settle for 3. Brooks Barwick does their short field goal kicking. His longest this season, 35 yards. He was 6 out of 8 for the year. This to be spotted at the 21. A 31-yard attempt. Straight on kicker. And Carolina has the initial advantage. So they take over with good field position after stopping Arkansas, and with 11:40 to go in the first quarter in the Gator Bowl. It's North Carolina 3, Arkansas nothing. In the fog at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, North Carolina on a Brooks Barwick field goal on top 3-0. Jeff Hayes to do the kicking off for Carolina, and back deep again, Danny Walters, 6'2", 190-pound junior from Chicago, Illinois. Hayes' last kick went into the end zone. This one is a low kick that will wind up going out of bounds as the flag is thrown at the 10-yard line. And we'll go back and do it again from the 35-yard line.
I'm surprised because in the previous 2 games that I had watched Hayes kick off, he's put that ball deep in the end zone each time. Unless he was deliberately trying to kick away from someone.
They'll bring it back to the 35-yard line.
We need Dr. Huff irons down here.
The wind, we pointed out earlier, at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And North Carolina moving with the wind here in the first quarter. North Carolina 9-2 on the season. In the 2 losses, Elkins was hurt in the South Carolina game, and Bryant didn't play at all. In the Clemson game, neither man was nearly 100% healthy.
Elkins was only in for the first quarter, got hurt again in the first quarter.
Bryant was limited to 31 yards. Well, from the 35, he booms it through.
That's why I was surprised that he missed that first one. He can really boom the ball, as he demonstrated there.
So another unreturnable kick. Arkansas with the ball for the second time. And the Razorbacks starting this drive from the 20-yard line. Interesting season for Arkansas. In the 3 games the Razorbacks lost, they had the lead in all of the games late and gave it up. In 4 games that they won, they were trailing late in the game and came from behind.
Of course, the last 5 minutes of that last game is what really triggered Blue.
On first down, it's Anderson. Stopped at the line of scrimmage as he tries to get outside. Greg Poole, number 32, coming up to make the tackle.
Good coverage by Poole. He's an outstanding corner.
Tackle by Jackson.
He's all ACC and also 13 All-American. Greg Poole. 6'1", about 199. Good player.
Runs back punch. Second down, 10. Razorbacks from the 20. Straight drop by the freshman Taylor, and good protection. Finds Anderson over the middle. Nice move to get out past the 30 and a first down to the 35-yard line, where Sammy Johnson makes the stop. Anderson, not only Arkansas's leading ground gainer, but tied for the team lead in receptions, as you can see right there with 26.
27 now and 3 TDs. And see, this is what he does. He'll check, look to see what the linebackers are doing. They're in zone. And here you see Taylor put the ball right there underneath the linebackers. Number 43, who is Chris Ward, coming up, misses a tackle, and he's finally brought down. Anderson's really a very fine football player. Sammy Johnson finally brought him down.
First down, Razorbacks from the 35-yard line. Straight ahead for 5 goes Bill Pierce, number 14. Pierce is a sophomore out of Crosset, Arkansas, who saw a decent amount of action earlier this season at quarterback.
If you recall, when we talked to Crum yesterday, he said one of the things that he thought about the veer that Arkansas uses is that hard dive. And we just saw an example of it there, that quick little pop through there. They've been very successful and sets up everything else.
Second down and 5. Anderson to the 45 and very close to a first down. Darrell Nicholson and Mike Wilcher, pair of linebackers, get on the tackle. Time called, and they'll bring in the change. Referee tonight is Tom Thammert. And the rest of the crew includes Foster Gross, Dave Anderson, Walt Malinchak, Jim Klingen-Smith, and Joe DiRenzo.
See there that it's just a couple inches.
And third down coming up. Dick Crum has had very good success at North Carolina. Prior to that, coaching at Miami of Ohio.
All right.
Cradle of coaches.
That's right. He's a quiet, reserved type of guy, but very thorough, good disciplinarian, and has had enormous success. You can see there his record at North Carolina, and he was even more successful at Miami of Ohio.
Third down and an inch. They go to a double tight end setup. And it's Taylor keeping himself, trying to burrow his way for a first down. Lou Holtz getting ready for what hopefully will be for Lou a first down call, and he is.
He calls all the plays from the sideline, and he has an excellent offensive mind.
Lou Holtz started his head coaching career at William & Mary, went to North Carolina State, then a year with the New York Jets, 1976, and then succeeded the legend, Frank Broyles, our colleague now, at Arkansas. First down from the 45-yard line. And it's Pierce for only a couple. Steve Fortson and Mike Wilcher in on the tackle.
Wilcher, number 84, has had a great season for the Tar Heels. Got a lot of sacks, a lot of negative yardage. He's a good one.
Second down, 8. Arkansas at the 47. 8:39 to go. First quarter. North Carolina leading it 3-0. Taylor keeping and getting spun down. Nice play by Calvin Daniels, number 93. Defensive captain, 237-pound senior out of Goldsboro, North Carolina. And 10 tackles for loss this year.
Great job by the North Carolina defense of stopping the outside veer, or the outside option play. They faked the veer inside with a dive man, try to get to the outside with Taylor, and the North Carolina defense did a super job.
Bog really rolling in right now. Third down and 8 from the 47-yard line. Taylor going over the middle, has a man open, but it's dropped at the 36-yard line. Darrell Mason had it and couldn't contain it. Bill Jackson was covering on the play.
And Mason's one of their best receivers. He's number 2 receiver on the ball club, and Lou was talking about how great he was, and he certainly is. That's unusual for him to drop it.
So Leahy comes in for his second punt. His first was a short one, only 30 yards. He sets up to take the snap at the 33, and Greg Poole drops back to receive. Single safety for North Carolina. Tar Heels with 10 men up on the line. 9 of them come, and Leahy gets the kick away. Another high kick with not much distance, and Poole with a fair catch at the 22-yard line. First and 10 Tar Heels at that spot. 7 minutes, 48 seconds remaining. First quarter, North Carolina 3, Arkansas nothing.
Jackson, strong suit.
North Carolina first and 10 from the 22 after the punt, and Ron Elkins tries to work his way out of trouble, getting out to the 24-yard line, corralled there by Billy Ray Smith, number 87.
Looked like his ankle was all right because he had a cut on it that time. Here's one of the things they want to do. They want to take away the opportunity for Arkansas to change their defenses, and they're huddling. Going without a huddle.
Right back to the line of scrimmage on second down and 7, and it's Kelvin Bryant straight ahead. He gets a couple. Richard Richardson, number 67, nose guard, junior from Little Rock, Arkansas, makes the stop. And now North Carolina goes back to its basic huddle.
Dick Crum said he wanted to do that because the defenses come from the sideline, and of course they're terribly multiple in a sense and create a lot of problems. At that time, it didn't look like it worked.
Third down, a short 4. Ball in the 28. They send Griffin in motion, and down goes Elkins, slipping down back at the 22-yard line.
You couldn't tell whether or not he caught the heel of the guard dropping back or not, or whether he just tripped.
So Arkansas has held. North Carolina quickly with the punting unit in, trying to catch Arkansas with too many men on the field, but there's no flag. And a fair catch called for and made at the 34-yard line by Gary Anderson. Arkansas gets it back there. We have 6:18 to go. First quarter. Still 3-0 Tar Heels. The Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. Al Michaels along with Ara Parsegian. Right there, Arkansas. Yardage per game offensively, as you can see, dominated by the ground game to an extent, and putting 27 points per game up on the board.
Hey, listen, you get 27 points a game in an 11-game season, you've got scoring potential. This beer is a big play offense.
North Carolina leading 3-0. Arkansas first and 10 from the 34-yard line, and Taylor going deep downfield and complete at the 15, and all the way in goes Derek Holloway for the touchdown. 66 yards to Derek Holloway, who beat Sammy Johnson and beat him badly.
And I'll tell you, Taylor put that ball right there. He let Holloway run underneath the ball. Perfectly executed pass and an example of the big play attack.
Holloway, who caught 17 during the regular season and only one for a touchdown, on the other end of a 66-yard bomb. And Leahy's kick is good. So Arkansas, as you suggested, Arab, capable of striking very quickly and doing exactly that.
Here it is. As you see Taylor looking right at you, he rolls out to his left, gets a good block from Anderson, and he threw this ball perfectly. Watch Holloway run right underneath it. Beautifully. There's Johnson, number 8, in pursuit, but he's gone. Holloway can really move. Here's another angle. You see the ball drops right into his hands. Sammy Johnson, number 8, cannot catch him. He beats him deep, and beautifully executed play. And the very thing about the beer that we talked about, Al, that it's a quick-hitting, big play offense, whereas the I formation, in a sense, is more of a lower-risk type of attack, and they grind the ball out, although Bryant can break your back in a hurry.
Interestingly enough, North Carolina in 11 regular season games gave up only one touchdown all season in the first quarter. Arkansas strikes here. Razorbacks lead at 7-3, and that's Ethan Horton dropping back deep for North Carolina. And he'll be flanked by Mark Smith. Bruce Leahy to kick off for the Razorbacks. 6 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Leahy kicking into a slight wind. It's Smith from the 2 after a juggling act past the 10 and dumped at the 17-yard line. Steve Douglas making the tackle. Third possession now for North Carolina, starting from the 17. Arkansas taking the ball 66 yards on the one play. Holloway seeing a little bit more playing time tonight because Gerald McMurray, who normally would start at Holloway's spot at split end, is hurt and not dressed. First and 10 from the 17. Paul Bryant's number at Arkansas equal to the task. Philip Warren, number 75, the first to meet him.
Warren has played well in the games that I saw Arkansas play, the Texas game and the Texas A&M game. Here they are with no huddle again, Al.
Second down. Call it 8 at the 19. Elkins after the short drop finds Bryant, and Bryant goes out to the 30-yard line where Nathan Jones rides him out of bounds after he picks up the first down. Billy Ray Smith had time to put the pressure on Elkins.
And Elkins came with just a little semi-roll to the left, and I think his ankle looks like it's holding up quite well.
When you think about an ankle sprain, as is the case on Elkins, you think, well, that's not so serious, but he does have calcium deposits there.
Yes.
And Dick Crum is concerned that Elkins may not even be 100% by next fall.
That's exactly what he said yesterday.
First down from the 29-yard line. Kelvin Bryant slips one tackle and then falls forward out to to the 33-yard line, and it's Billy Ray Smith making the stop, number 87.
Well, I think about running away from him. Billy Ray is not an easy guy to get around. Here he is at defensive left end, number 87. The blocker, I think, is Robinson, and he is a good blocker. You can see the kind of player that Billy Ray Smith is and why he's an All-American. He's a tremendous football player.
Bryant got 4. Second down, 6 at the 33. Under 5 minutes to go in the period. Bryant with 3 or 4 more to the 36-yard line, and again it's B.R. Smith out of Plano, Texas, making the tackle.
I'll tell you, he's all over the field. Again without a huddle. Trying to keep them in the defense that they're in.
Set up quickly. And set up with the shotgun for the first time this season. A high snap and an inside give. A flag goes down as Bryant gets out to the 48-yard line. Bert Zinneman made the tackle, but a marker was thrown at the inception of the play. In fact, 2 markers. And it's a procedure call against Carolina. So they go to the shotgun for the first time in Crum's tenure in North Carolina, and it'll cost them.
Well, that was the equivalent of a draw play. It was a long snap. The snap was high. I think that Elkins did a great job of fielding the darn thing. Otherwise, it would not be. Here it is, the shotgun.
Illegal procedure. Offense. Third down, replay.
Third and 8.
James Jones was the guy that violated. I think he moved just before the snap of the ball, but I think Elkins did a good job of fielding it.
Third down and 8 after the penalty instead of the first down. They're at the 31-yard line. Anthony is in at a running back, indicating a pass, and he takes the pass, and Anthony gets out to the 39-yard line. Occasionally, they do spell Bryant with Anthony, and that oftentimes indicates that they'll look for Tyrone in the pattern, but he is shy of the first down.
Well, he's a very fine receiver. Again, they're going to have to punt the ball. Look how they hustle, and they're trying to catch him with 12 men on the field.
Very quickly. A 12-man on the field penalty killed Arkansas in their game against SMU. But they only have 11 here, and Hayes just does get the kick away after a quick rush, and it's Anderson calling for and making the fair catch at the 24-yard line. So the Razorbacks get the ball back. 3:43 to go in the period. 37-yard kick. It's Arkansas by 4. The Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. 3 minutes and 43 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Arkansas with the ball and Arkansas with the lead. 7-3. Brad Taylor with a 66-yard touchdown pass on his last play. Giving it to Clark, who takes it out to the 28-yard line.
See the thinking there by Lou Holtz. He just hit him with a bomb for 66 yards. He comes up with a first and 10, goes right back to the pocket, runs a draw play, thinking they're going to be all running back. And he does a good job of sequencing.
And he comes in with a new set of backs. You've got James Tolbert, 32, and Jesse Clark, 33, behind Taylor. Second down and 7 from the 27-yard line. The fake to Tolbert, and off the roll, the pass is incomplete. Intended for Jesse Clark, number 33. Clark scored 5 touchdowns in the game against Baylor earlier this season, one of the wildest games in Southwest Conference history. Arkansas prevailing 41-39.
Clark's a good football player, didn't finish the season real well, and I think one of the things about having to fight for his position again, I think got his attention, I believe, and that's the intention of Lou Holtz.
A method to his supposed madness.
Right.
Third down and 7 from the 27. Going over the middle to Holloway at the 46-yard line. So the man who caught the touchdown pass catches a key third down pass and gives Arkansas a first down over the middle at the 46-yard line.
Looked like Red Poole, number 32 here, might have slipped and fallen. He tried to bump him. Now you see that Holloway's got him beaten. Now watch, Poole slips and falls right there. But the ball's beautifully thrown, and Hendrickson comes in and makes the play.
First and 10, Arkansas. 2:45 remaining in the first quarter. Arkansas leading 7-3. It's Tolbert out to midfield. Stop at the 50-yard line. Darrell Nicholson, number 29, a senior from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, makes the stop.
Taylor, we've got to remember there, is a freshman. I mean, he's not a seasoned, experienced guy, and I've never heard anyone talk more glowingly about a quarterback than Lou Holtz has talked about Taylor. He says he has better peripheral vision than anyone he's ever seen. And, of course, he's demonstrating it here in this first quarter.
2nd down and 6. And Taylor is stopped just shy of the line of scrimmage by Nicholson and Wilcher. Among the other things Holt said of Taylor, he said he's the best I've ever had, but occasionally, as Steve Davis indicated at the outset of the telecast, sometimes you've got to take what Lou says with a grain of salt.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, I think the guy's all right. Now, that's twice now that they've tried to run the option, the outside option, or the outside veer, into the strong side, and North Carolina is well prepared for that. They've stopped it dead both occasions.
3rd down, 7 from the 49. Taylor's got room, but not enough for the first down. A nice defensive play made by Greg Poole to stop him shy of the first down. And upcoming, it'll be 4th down and a long 2.
I'll tell you, Calvin Daniels stayed at home. The defensive left end forced Taylor to go a little deeper and, of course, prevented that from being a first down. It was a bootleg play, and Daniels, even though he didn't make the play, did force him deeper.
That's Leahy to kick. His first 2 kicks have been short, 31 and 30 yards. Poole is the single safety at the 10. Leahy should be able to pin him deep. A very high kick, and a fair catch called for at the 12-yard line. So North Carolina backed up by a 35-yard kick by Leahy with 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining in the first quarter as Elkins comes back in. Arkansas on top, 7-3.
Oh, Al, just looking at the fog coming in here, I wouldn't want to field a punt out there. I mean, you get lost up in the fog.
You really can't see it at home on your screen because of the lens filters here, but if you're sitting in the top row of the Gator Bowl, you're having a very difficult time seeing the action at the moment. Kelvin Bryant to the 19-yard line. Gain of about 7.
That was all running on Bryant's part. That was well defended, but he avoided the tacklers, and that's the kind of runner that he is. You see his average right there.
Kelvin averaging 6.5 yards per carry thus far tonight. 2nd down and 3. Carolina from the 19-yard line.
All right, Leo!
Look out. Kelvin with room. 35, 40, and out of bounds at the 45-yard line. David Drexler, who's had a brilliant quarter, number 54, the All-ACC guard, provided the room.
This is the drop play. You see Bryant clear here. Drexler makes a great block. And here he comes into the secondary. And I'll tell you, you can't harness that guy all day. He is something. See, number 23, Ron Matheny, has been moved over to free safety, made the play.
1st and 10, North Carolina at the 45-yard line. This time to the 46, it's James Jones. Stopped by Richard Richardson. James Jones is in there because Alan Burris, the number 1 fullback, was injured in the next to last game of the season. It was Jones who played in the final game of the season against Duke and did a great job blocking for Bryant, who ran for 247 against the Blue Devils.
And also a walk-on, and very, very bright, as Coach Crum said.
Clock ticking down, 2 seconds, 1 second. And Elkins will let it run out. So the end of the first quarter at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. And with 15 minutes in the books, the score. The Razorbacks of Arkansas 7, the Tar Heels of North Carolina 3. The Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. Al Michaels along with Aaron Parsegian. It's 7-3 Arkansas, and as we start the second period, North Carolina with the ball, 2nd down, 9 at the 46-yard line. Rod Elkins, the quarterback, sends his backs out into the pattern, and then nearly has it picked off as John Richardson was the intended receiver and Ron Matheny got a hand on it.
I think one of the stats, of course, here we see the first downs 5-3 in favor of North Carolina. You can see the rushing yardage, 78, of which Kelvin Bryant has 77. And the fact that he has 77 yards might be significant as this game goes on because they have not stopped him yet. The passing yardage, of course, because of that big 66-yard bomb, is the big difference there.
Holloway caught it. That's been the only touchdown thus far. 3rd down and 9. Dump it off to Bryant. 50. And out of bounds at the 48-yard line. So shy of the first down by about 3 as they send Kelvin into the pattern.
Here's a front look at it. You see Elkins dropping back, dropping the ball off to Kelvin. See number 23, Matheny, trying to take him. He can't take him one-on-one. I'd hate to have the guy out there one-on-one. Jeff Goff, number 34, finally gets him out of bounds.
On 4th down and 2. Right now, Carolina trying to get, well, what they're trying to do, I believe, is get Arkansas offside.
They didn't have a punter.
Did not have a punter in the game.
Hayes wasn't in there.
And they take a timeout. There he is. There's Hayes. He should have been in there. For a moment, I thought they were just trying to get Arkansas caught off guard for a penalty. 7-3 Arkansas. Back in a moment. After reminding Jeff Hayes that one of his chores is to punt, Dick Crum has sent him back in. If you're going to forget to come out with the punting unit, that's a pretty good spot on the field, though. He's still in decent shape. That's Gary Anderson back deep to receive for Arkansas.
How about the center wondering what's going on?
Yeah. A high kick, floating kick. Fair catch called for, but they let it go. And North Carolina recovered. An Arkansas man touching the ball, and Carolina's got it at the 6-yard line.
Boy, that's a big break.
Mike Harris, number 86, I believe, was the man who inadvertently touched the ball for the Razorbacks.
Well, if he
Carolina with a huge break.
Well, the rule says if he's blocked into it, it's not a turnover. It's not a live ball. Let's see what happens from this angle, this vantage point. The ball hits right there. It's behind the goalpost. Bounce up in the air. Oh, he was down on the ground when it hit his hand. Well, one of the things you coach and teach the kids, know where that ball is.
Get out of the way when you've got all those white shirts around you. From the 6-yard line, it's Kelvin Bryant. And Bryant tries to fight his way to the end zone and is just shy. Bert Zinnemann made the stop. Pointed out earlier, Bryant in his first 3 games this season scored 15 touchdowns.
He's without a shoe right now. Here he is just in the off-tackle play, weaves it outside, makes a tackler miss, and he's finally hit there by number 48, Bert Zinnemann, and number 37, Nathan Jones, driven out of bounds. Here's another angle from it. Here's what you would look like if you were facing Kelvin Bryant. There he is, breaking to the outside. He's a good one.
2nd down and goal. Call Kelvin's number again, tries to spin his way in. No signal. And he's shy. It'll be 3rd down. If you're wondering about the NCAA major college record for touchdowns, it's 29, set by Lydell Mitchell when he was in the backfield at Penn State along with Franco Harris. So Bryant was certainly on a pace in which he would have eclipsed Mitchell by plenty had he stayed healthy.
We saw him when he scored, what was it, 5?
He scored 4 against Boston College, 5 against Miami, 6 against East Carolina. On 3rd down, it's Bryant again, and this time he's through.
You hurt?
Just tired.
Okay.
Ron Sproul was the guard who paved the way that time, number 68.
Like North Carolina has 2 of the finest guards in the country, and Sproul and Drexler, boy, they're both right around 250. They can move. Here it is right here, just a power isolation play with number 48, Jones, leading. And you can see Bryant here give the second effort and get into the end zone.
Jeff Hayes to attempt the extra point. Scott Stankiewicz to do the holding. And the kick is perfect. Hayes now 46 out of 47 in 1981. And less than 2 minutes into the second period, Carolina has the lead back. In Chapel Hill, they call him, and rightfully so, Mr. Touchdown. 18 this season, 1 tonight.
And the game isn't over yet either. He's a great back.
Early second period, Hayes to kick off. North Carolina leading Arkansas 10-7. Hayes kicks his third, and is not returned.
Into the wind, he still kicks the ball out of sight. Here's an end zone shot. You can just see it's an isolation play with the fullback Jones leading. There's a good hole there. Spur hole there. Number 68 does the job. And, of course, Bryant gives a second effort. There's Elkins, I guess.
Rod Elkins, the North Carolina quarterback. His team cashing in on a big break when Arkansas inadvertently tried to handle a punt. North Carolina recovering, and Bryant going in. First down. Taylor on a deep drop tries to set up the screen and is lucky he didn't give up 7. Pass was tipped away by the linebacker, Chris Ward. Intended for Gary Anderson, and Ward nearly had 6.
Would have been his third interception. He's had 2 this year. He's a tough kid. Cincinnati, Ohio, really will hit.
Carolina moving in after the fumbled punt. Bryant, 3 carries. Arkansas second down 10 from the 20. Anderson and Clark are the running backs. Taylor on a keeper and nothing doing. Wrapped up by Fortune and Fuller. Fuller, number 95, a sophomore from Chesapeake, Virginia.
Fuller, the number 1 defensive player on this football team. Number 95 here pursuing. He is so quick, he comes clear from the backside to make the play on the option down the line. They had the advantage from a strategical standpoint by alignment, but Fuller was so quick, he came from the backside to stop the option.
Third down, 9.5, just outside the 20. Taylor throwing out to the 30-yard line and incomplete on the far side. Intended for Mark Missler, number 88. Quarterback in high school, recruited him from Arizona.
And barring any unforeseen errors, it looks like North Carolina may get pretty good field position.
Very foggy now. It really is impossible, as we said at the top of the stadium, to see the surface. Call this one strictly off the monitor. Leahy's kick gets lost in the gloom and somehow is found by Poole, who's coming back through the middle. The 40, the 35, and to the 30-yard line. North Carolina in good shape again in Arkansas territory with 12:16 remaining in the first half.
I don't know that I'd want to field the ball in those kind of conditions, but Greg Poole did, and he comes right up the middle. They've got it blocked, and he weaves to the right here, and I think he runs into the tackler rather than the tackler. Number 82, Darrell Mason, the tight end, made the tackle.
Elkins leads the Tar Heels from the 30-yard line on first down and goes right to the air and over the middle and on a slant into the 20-yard line. The catch was made by John Richardson, number 19, who caught 28 during the regular season. Danny Walters making the tackle. Close to a first down.
You can see the drives here of North Carolina. And one thing I wanted to point out is that, of course, you can see you got a 6-yard touchdown in there, and they led to the field goal. But the point I wanted to make there is that Elkins really showed a quick arm on that delivery. That ball was gone quick.
Half a yard shy of the first. It's second down and inches. Tyrone Anthony is in, the slot back, and Elkins is going to put it up and looks for Anthony and through his hands. So third down and inches from the 20-yard line. Nathan Jones was covering on the play.
One of the reasons they put Anthony in there is because he has a little better hands than Bryant, I guess, but Bryant has demonstrated he can catch the ball just as well.
11:32 remaining. First half. If you're just tuning in, we're at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, and don't mess with the contrast dial. It is very foggy. It's like Candlestick Park in the summer right now. It is third down and inches from the 20-yard line. Bryant is back in. And Bryant gets the ball and does not, I don't think he gets the first down. We'll see where they mark his forward progress as Kelvin is shoved back.
I think you're right. I think they're just shy of it.
Spotted right at the 20-yard line.
He didn't get it.
So it was second down and a couple of inches, and now it is fourth down and those same couple of inches from the 20.
The ball is right at the 20.
Calling timeout.
So they set up as if they would go for it and then decide they will.
No, I think it was an Arkansas timeout.
Arkansas will think about it.
Right, they wanted
defensively.
Exactly.
So Elkins going over to check it out with Crum. There's the Arkansas hog hat. Fabled cry. What is it?
What was it Frank was telling you?
It's woo pig suey. You got it.
Pig suey. That's what it is. I mean,
good one tonight. That's what we've got for you coming up on New Year's night, Friday. Herschel Walker and the Georgia Bulldogs ranked second in the country against Jackie Sherrill's Pitt Panthers. Pittsburgh, a team that routed South Carolina in the Gator Bowl last year. Everybody thought this would be a rebuilding year for Sherrill. It was anything but. They were unbeaten at number 1 going into their final game. Lost to Penn State. Dan Marino and company against Herschel Walker on New Year's night from the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. Pitt and Georgia. Crum, the mild-mannered and professorial one, as always. Gets his point across.
And let's see whether or not Arkansas goes into a gambling defense and just gambles that this will be a run and not worry about the pass. See whether the cornermen come. It's tough to run against that.
And they give it to Bryant, but he does not get it. Bert Zinnemann, number 48, there to make the stop.
This is a great. Look at Billy Ray submarine underneath here. And, of course, allows other Arkansas men to come in there and make the play. Great defense. Number 48 right there is the guy that made it, Bert Zinnemann. But you see Billy Ray Smith came underneath, got a lot of penetration, knocked off a blocker. And it's a great defensive stand by the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Coming at a most opportune time after Carolina had cashed in on a break and had been set up in good field position after the Greg Poole punt return. Carolina leads 10-7, but Arkansas has it back from the 21-yard line. Gator off the fake to Anderson, pumping and then losing the ball as his arm was coming forward. And we'll see what they're going to call it. They're going to call it an incomplete pass with Taylor's arm coming forward. Calvin Daniels was the man who got there just as he was starting to release it.
We have another look at it. Look from up here like maybe Daniels might have gotten to him before the arm moved forward. But let's take a look. He makes a pump fake. Yes, he was moving forward. It's a good call by the official. The referee is right there. And Jack Perry, I guess, number 64, gets out there and gets on the ball.
Taylor, 3 out of 10 for 100 yards, 66 on one throw. Movement initially by Carolina, and then Calvin Daniels was moving on one side. And you saw number 78, Ronnie Trusty, rise up on the other for Arkansas.
Probably called both sides offside.
Well, just Carolina. Made contact.
Must have made contact. That's the key. Had to make contact.
Arkansas stumbling start on its first drive.
Offsides, illegal contact, defense.
Picked up a couple of first downs on the second drive. Touchdown pass on the third drive. Second down, 5. It's Clark carrying out past the 30.
Just a quick dive, the outside veer. Clark is 6'1", about 227 pounds.
And a first down.
And a junior.
This is like Halloween right now. It is so foggy. There are 70,000 people in the stadium, and I'll bet you 20,000 can't see the game right now. you have to be sitting low. First down from the 31-yard line as Clark brings it out for a gain of about 7 to the 38. Darrell Nicholson, number 29, in on the tackle. Again, a look across the way. You cannot see from where we sit the stands on the opposite side. Second down, 3 from the 38-yard line. Taylor tries to turn and can't, and is met as he tries to turn at the line of scrimmage. Stopped for no gain by Calvin Daniels, number 93.
Very evident that North Carolina has worked very hard in stopping the outside option play with either Taylor carrying or dealing the ball off. They have had absolutely zero success with it.
Third down, 3. Ball at the 38-yard line. We have 9 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the first half. Carolina on top, 10-7. Taylor to throw to the near side and drop. Incomplete.
Would have had a first down easily enough.
Scott Shaleen, number 26, was the intended receiver.
And Taylor put the ball right there. But again, there's not much a passer can do when the ball is dropped. Those are the things that occur. The kid didn't want to drop the ball because he wanted to.
So Leahy re-enters. Bruce to kick it as he sets up at his own 25-yard line. Greg Poole had a nice run back off Leahy's last punt. Single safety at the 20. Kick up in the fog. Poole from the 20 out to the 25. And wrestled down at the 26-yard line. Carolina coming out offensively at that spot with 8:54 remaining in the first half, and North Carolina ahead by 3. 8 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in the first half at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. North Carolina leading Arkansas 10-7. And the Tar Heels have the ball at their own 26-yard line. First and 10. Anthony is the tailback. Smith goes in motion. They pitch it to Tyrone Anthony, and he moves his way out past the 30 to about the 33, tackled by Bert Zinnemann. Through the foghorns at all, let's check in downstairs with Steve Davis.
The weather conditions down on the sidelines, it's tremendously very dense fog. You cannot see anything really. I talked to the punt returners. They lose the ball, but they're just trying to zero in on where they think the ball is coming and make the best play they can. But I can't see the other side of the field. It's ridiculous. Al?
Elkins is able to see Richardson, but the official sees that he goes out of bounds as he makes the catch.
Well, with the fog, how would he know, huh?
That's right. You're taking a guess. So the pass incomplete. The ice pack is covering the wrist and hand of one Kelvin Bryant.
And Anthony went out after he carried that ball with a shoulder problem. And you got Horton in there, freshman who's a quarterback. They've got big plans for him. Played tailback when both Anthony and Bryant was hurt during the season.
Had a good day against Maryland. They give it to him. He's big at 6'4" and gets out to the 44-yard line. And a first down. Darrell Ackerfeld getting the start at linebacker, number 46. One of the big switches made by Holtz, a man who hasn't made a tackle all season. Gets the start tonight, makes the stop here.
You can see Horton has a big, strong back. He also has a great arm, will play quarterback or will work at quarterback next year, but was thrust into this position because of the number of injuries to the tailback spot.
Spotted at the 43-yard line. First and 10. Smith in motion. Pitch it to Horton to the 45. And brought down at the 46-yard line after a gain of 3 as Bert Zinnemann comes up to make contact. Quickly now, without the huddle, North Carolina coming back up to the line.
Got to get the ball ready for play by the officials.
Second and 7.
Audibilizing.
Horton again into Arkansas Dinosaur territory. Tackled at the 49-yard line. Wrestled down by number 87, the All-American Billy Ray Smith.
Seems to be all over the place. Here he is lined up at end. Wards off the blocker, number 56, and goes back to the inside and makes a play on Horton. Here's another angle you see right here. Number 56 is Mike Marr, who was injured and back in at right tackle now. Is injured during the season, but a regular, usually a starter.
3rd down and 2 at the Arkansas 49-yard line. Horton trying to pick up the 1st down and might have it. He gets...
Yeah, I think he has it.
Just inside the 47. Milton Fields making the stop.
He gave it to him, yeah.
1st down. Bring in a new ball. Arrow, we know obviously when it's raining, the ball gets very slick and wet. What about in conditions like this?
That isn't too bad. I was just trying to think here. The last time I was in a fog game when I was coaching was a night game, and I was in Miami of Ohio, and we were playing Marquette up at Milwaukee, and we got in a dense fog. It finally cleared off, but it was very difficult to see the football and coordinate things.
Horton spins his way inside the 45, and he's become the workhorse on this drive, carrying again and getting to the 41-yard line.
That's not too bad to have a guy like Bryant and Anthony and Horton. I mean, there's a real group of backs.
Mentioned before the game he had against the Terrapins, picking up 94 yards in the absence of Bryant and Anthony that week.
And he just had been moved to that position that week and had very little contact work at that tailback spot. He's an outstanding athlete, good player.
On 2nd and 5, on the delay they give it to Horton, and he fights his way forward to the 35-yard line, where Boren and Teddy Morris.
That was the same draw play that Bryant broke out on. Late blocker.
Another 1st down in the hand for Kelvin Bryant, who comes back in. Really, the hand, though, is for Horton, who's going out. Offensive line, they're big. You've got Blados, we list him at 290, weighed in earlier this season at more than 300. They've got Bryant slotted this time. Elkins rolling and running out of room. And incomplete on the far side, intended for John Richardson, number 19. 5 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the half.
I don't know whether Elkins, they seem to be disoriented on that play. No one seemed to be knowing exactly what they were going to do, and I don't know whether he had a one-on-one with Richardson or not. But I believe Ackerfield Phelps put the pressure on him, and it just was uncoordinated.
2nd down, 10. North Carolina with it at the Arkansas 36-yard line. That's Richardson going in motion and then setting up on the left side with Robinson coming over as the tight end on the right side. And it's Kelvin Bryant spinning for 3. Getting to the 33. Ron Perot, number 69, makes the stop. And the clock ticks down to the 5-minute mark in the 1st half. And North Carolina on top, 10-7.
Had the strong safety coming hard that time. Had a good defense on against that play and forced Bryant back to the inside and didn't pick up the yardage they would have liked to.
3rd down and 7.
There's that shotgun.
Elkins giving it to Bryant. Again, we've got a flag. Same situation as before. Somebody's moving before the snap.
It was Jones again, apparently.
Again, the fullback, number 48. Again, we'll point out it's a formation that Carolina has not used, but they have been working on for this game because of the somewhat limited mobility of the quarterback, Elkins.
You know what's happening? Of course, he's moving. It looked like the ball was already snapped, though. I don't know. That's very close. But one of the problems, I would think, is that Jones is in a three-point position.
Offense. 4th down.
Jones is in a three-point position in the regular eye, and now he's in the up position. Watch his left foot. He moves before the ball, exactly. But I think the fact that he's in an up position, he takes that false step to get momentum because he was the lead blocker on that draw.
3rd down and 13 from the 38-yard line. We've got another penalty flag, and Elkins going deep, and it's tipped and it's incomplete. Richardson was the intended receiver. Good coverage on the play by Ron Matheny, number 23, and a marker at the line of scrimmage. Again, it's against Carolina, this time offside.
He'll probably decline it.
That was a third down play.
Yeah, there goes Anderson as a returner.
Coaching staff saying, forget it.
Yeah.
Get the punt return unit out. 4:21 remaining in the half. It's Jeff Hayes back to kick. He stands at his own 48-yard line. Gary Anderson, the deep man for Arkansas, at the 13. Trying to find the ball through the 5. Calls for the fair catch but doesn't see it. And it goes out of bounds at about the 10. So the Razorbacks will be pinned deep. 4:17 to go, first half, and it's still 10-7 Tar Heels. Back at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Al Michaels, Ara Parsegian, and Steve Davis. North Carolina on top by 3. 4:17 to go in the half. Arkansas with the ball at the 11-yard line. And Bill Pierce, number 14, straight ahead for a gain of 3. Pierce and Tolbert are the running backs as Lou Holtz sends in the next play with Keith Kidd.
I don't know how big a risk of play that he wants to use down here. He has poor field position. And, of course, I'm sure he doesn't want to make a mistake with 3:56 left to go in this second quarter just before the end of the half. Let's see if he stays conservative.
Second down, 7. Tolbert to the 24-yard line. Tripped up by Darrell Lucas. And a first down. So some breathing room for the Razorbacks.
You see just a little pitch sweep, and they get good blocking at the corner. Darrell Lucas, who is the corner man, number 17, finally makes the play, almost catches it from the rear. And you'll see number 17 was a regular, the cornerback, and then was injured. Now he's back in playing again.
Clock running. 3.5 minutes to go, first half. Arkansas first and 10 from the 24. They trail by 3. Clark finds some room and takes it out to the 34-yard line.
That was that quick outside veer. There was good blocking and a good hole there. And this is the thing that Crum worried about. That hard dive is what he termed it. And they'll run that thing, and about the time you forget about it, they'll just liable to go all the way with it. Pop through there.
Gain of close to 10 and necessitates a measurement here to see whether or not he picked up the first down as Gary Anderson comes back in at a running back spot with 3 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the first half. They've got it.
It's Darrell Mason, is it?
That's Kidd. Keith Kidd.
Oh, Keith Kidd.
Alternating
83.
with Missler. Coming up at halftime, Steve Davis will be talking with both coaches. Fireman's Fund Flashback. Have the Coaches of the Year awards. North Carolina band is here, and highlights of the first half coming up at the half for you. Arkansas has now taken a timeout. They have spent 2 of their allotted 3, so timeout for the Razorbacks with 2 minutes and 58 seconds remaining in the first half. Lou Holtz, far left of the picture, discussing things with Taylor. Holtz, of course, in his 5th year at Arkansas era, has been rumored to be getting every job in the country outside of the one, I guess, at where Central Michigan, maybe. But they have talked about Lou going to Notre Dame, to LSU. Recently, it was South Carolina. But he's still at Arkansas.
Well,
from what he told us, he's going to be there a while, too.
He's a hot item. He's a tremendous football coach. And as we visited with him yesterday and wondered whether or not there was any truth to any of the rumors that he may be moving, he said he loves it at Fayetteville in Arkansas and he couldn't find a better job than he has right now. He likes it very much. I think he's really grown into the Arkansas thing. But his name crops up with virtually every job because he's been enormously successful.
Well, earlier this season in some papers it was reported that Dick Crum of North Carolina was going to replace Earl Bruce at Ohio State, and we talked to Dick about that. Dick said, well, that's started normally by somebody who wants to do some damage to the North Carolina recruiting program. You start a rumor, it gets publicized and broadcast, and all of a sudden kids who are thinking about going to a particular school say, well, wait a minute, is the coach going to be there?
Well, number one is you're trying to fill a job that a man has already done a good job in, Earl Bruce. I mean, he's at Ohio State. He's done a good job there, and here they are starting the rumor mill. Well, I've been through that as a coach, I guess.
Oh, haven't you? First down, Arkansas from the 34-yard line. Anderson takes the pitch. No leverage, and out of bounds he goes at the 38-yard line, stopping the clock with 2 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in the half as Mike Wilcher drove him out.
Anderson's a dangerous back. He's a little bit like Bryant. He's not quite as large. He's only 6'1", 175. But if he gets into that secondary, look out.
Second down and 6. Subject to rumors. No Parsegian rumors lately, huh?
You want to start one?
Oh, why not?
He's recovering.
He's recovering. He's going to Marco Island with his wife Katie to celebrate his 33rd anniversary. That's where he's going.
Right on.
Second down and 6 from the 38-yard line. Taylor has a man open at the 40-yard line and a fine catch by Gary Anderson. Perfectly thrown ball. Darrell Lucas the coverage on the play. Big play.
Well, you got to single out both the execution of the passer as well as Anderson being off balance and making a great catch. Now watch this. Taylor comes back, fakes the ball, then he turns and throws here. Watch Anderson now. He's falling down, going backwards, makes a great grab, great throw, and great catch. They can do it. They're a big play team.
Clock stopped, 2:38 to go in the half. They have one timeout remaining. Ball at the 38-yard line. Clark and Tolbert the running backs, and it's Taylor setting up and finding a receiver at the 28-yard line. It's number 83, Keith Kidd, who's been shuffling plays in. And close to a first down.
Beautiful execution. They caught him in man-to-man coverage. He just went, Missler just went down the field, or that was Kidd, wasn't it? Just went down the field, stopped, saw that he couldn't beat his man, turned to the sideline, and wham, Taylor put it right there. That's a Tar Heel, wasn't it?
You bet.
Here he comes down, he fakes the dive. It's man-to-man coverage. You see Taylor right here waiting. He makes his turn to the outside. It's man-to-man with Lucas on the coverage, and a well-executed play. Well-coached team.
It's a first down at the 28-yard line. Tolbert slicing inside, getting to the 21-yard line where Chris Ward makes the tackle. Holtz calling the play and sending it in with Kidd.
This is quite a drive considering where they started this thing.
And the time remaining.
Yeah.
2:06, 2:05 and counting down. Gain of 7, second down, 3. Arkansas at the Carolina 21. North Carolina leading it 10-7. This drive started back at the 11-yard line. Clark works his way close to the 18-yard line, close to a first down. The tandem of Ward and Nicholson, the inside backers, make the stop.
Looks like he has the first down.
They line it up and do signify a first down.
Oh, this has been some kind of drive. They've mixed it up well, too, with the runs and the passes.
A couple of plays ended up out of bounds. That helped, saving time.
Also, please note that a lot of the plays have been to their left and to the defensive right of North Carolina, down this left hash mark.
First and 10, Arkansas from the 18-yard line. Straight ahead for a couple. Tolbert. It'll be second down and 8. Arkansas with that one timeout remaining, so they'll have to use that very judiciously as the clock ticks down. 108, 107.
Second down and long, looks like a passing situation.
Second and 8 from the 16-yard line. They have Kidd split wide to the right. Pitch it to Tolbert. Inside the 15. And hit down at the 11-yard line with the clock showing 39-38. And running down, Sammy Johnson and Darrell Nicholson making the tackle.
Didn't look like he was going to get to the outside, but he jumped out there and got outside of... But right here it is, right here. You see, it looks like he's going to be caught inside, but he does a great job. I believe that was Wilcher right there, and Tugglehoff did a good job of blocking on the play.
Meanwhile, 3rd and 4, and the clock still running with 15 seconds. Took him a long time to get the play off, and Taylor going for the end zone and overthrows a man who was open. It was Gary Anderson who'd gotten loose out of the backfield.
He was wide open, too.
So now you've got 10 seconds, but you've also got 4th down. So they won't need to call the timeout after the incompletion, and they'll have to settle for the field goal and try to tie it at the half.
You wonder whether or not that fellow right there is going to be a little surprising, come up with a gadget maybe and go for the score. I would be in a defense that would what we called a safe defense, where we covered all the receivers. You wouldn't take any chances. You got to give them the 3. Don't try to block it and save against the 7.
It's Leahy. He will kick the field goal from the 19-yard line. It's a 29-yard attempt, and through the fog and the mist, it is good.
Well, at least the officials got to see it. We couldn't see whether it went through or not.
So a good drive that began on the 11, bogs down at the very end, but nonetheless nets 3, and with 4 seconds to play. In a most interesting first half here in Jacksonville, the game is tied at 10.
Well, we thought it was going to be a very close game as we talked about the two teams, and certainly it's been that in the first half. Both of them are excellent teams. We didn't predict the fog, though, did we?
No. They said maybe a little rain tonight. Haven't had that.
Well, this is better, I think, than rain. Rain really does get things slippery and difficult to... They're executing out there. The field is good, got good turf, and you do get some mistiness and wetness on the ball. But as you can see, they're throwing the ball well and handling it well.
This figured, as we said earlier, to be a relatively difficult game to analyze. The teams had never met, ever. And they had not met a common opponent this season.
Yeah, that was interesting as we looked at this game. You know, it's the first time in all the years that football has been played that these two teams have played a contest.
Be a great matchup in basketball, wouldn't it? Carolina #1, Arkansas now 5th.
Hey, listen, there's two great teams.
4 seconds remaining in the first half, so the kickoff and run back should do it. Leahy kicks a ground ball down to the 4-yard line. Ethan Horton comes straight up the middle to the 25 to the 30, tries to get to the outside, but he stopped at the 35-yard line, and time has run out. So a spirited and very interesting first half has come to an end at Jacksonville. Our halftime score: Arkansas 10, North Carolina 10, and let's go down to the field and check in with Steve Davis.
Coach, obviously the kicking game has been a real factor in this football game.
Well, it has, but we've made too doggone many offensive mistakes. We should be scoring more than we are, and I'm disappointed in the way our offense has just made some errors that we shouldn't be making.
It seems like your offensive line, though, has really controlled that line of scrimmage. You said you had to do that to be successful, and you have done that.
Yeah, but we've had 2 big motion penalties in the offensive line that have cost us possessions.
What kind of changes are you going to make at halftime?
Well, we're just going to have to settle down and just play solid football, and I think if we do, we can win. If we fool around to the second half like we did the first, we're going to have a tough time.
Has the fog done anything to affect your kicking game?
No, not really. I just hope Kays keeps kicking them higher.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Let's go back upstairs to Al Michaels.
All right, Steve, and our halftime score in the 37th Gator Bowl is North Carolina 10 and Arkansas 10. And we'll be back with tonight's halftime activities right after this commercial and a word from our local stations. Halftime at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. There's your score: North Carolina 10, Arkansas 10. And time now for our Fireman's Fund flashback. Tonight's Fireman's Fund flashback is brought to you by Fireman's Fund Insurance. And Fireman's Fund Insurance is brought to you by an independent agent near you. There have been many great individual performances in the Gator Bowl over the years, and one of those took place in 1965 at the 20th renewal of this classic. Let's look back. The weather was perfect in Jacksonville on January the 2nd, 1965. The game featured the first ever meeting between the Oklahoma Sooners and the Florida State Seminoles. And what a day it was for Fred Biletnikoff, who of course let his hair grow out a lot longer when he became an All-Pro with the Oakland Raiders. Here with Oklahoma leading 7-6 early in the second quarter, Steve Tensey back to pass, finds Biletnikoff Bolettnikoff, number 25, at the 2-yard line. Into the end zone he goes to put Florida State on top for good. Later on, second quarter, a duplication from the 14-yard line this time. Tennessee back to pass, protected well, looking for Bolettnikoff, finds him in the end zone for a touchdown that makes the score Florida State 18, Oklahoma 7. And still in the second quarter with time running out, Tennessee one more time to number 25. Bolettnikoff catches 3 touchdown passes in the period. Then late in the fourth quarter with Florida State leading by 11, they iced it here from the 6-yard line. Tennessee, who had 5 touchdown passes on the day, throws another one to Bolettnikoff, his 4th touchdown reception of the afternoon. Florida State wins the game 36-19, and Fred Bolettnikoff sets 3 Gator Bowl records which still stand: 13 receptions, 192 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Back at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, crowd of 70,000 sitting on in the fog. And they have seen a dandy first half. North Carolina 10, Arkansas 10. Razorbacks tying it up on a field goal by Bruce Leahy with just 4 seconds remaining in the first half. So a very interesting first 30 minutes with 30 more to come. And, of course, end of the year, time for awards presentations. We have our Coaches of the Year presentations to be handed out. And for that, let's go to Bill Fleming.
Thanks very much, Al. During these past 11 years, the Chevrolet Scholarship Program has been run in conjunction with our televised games here on ABC. Our ABC commentators have voted for the outstanding players of the game in our NCAA program, and Chevrolet has sent $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of those institutions in those players' names. Well, at the end of each year, we pick the Coaches of the Year, and that's the reason we're here today, to present the Coaches of the Year for 1981. We also choose the Player of the Year, and you'll be meeting him later on at the Sugar Bowl at halftime. First of all, let me just say that there are 4 divisions of the NCAA, and in Division 3, the Coach of the Year is Bill Manlove Jr. of Widener College. Widener beat Dayton in the Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl for the national championship and wound up a perfect season of 13-0. In Division 2, the Coach of the Year, Vito Ragazzo of Shippensburg State, winding up the season with a perfect 12-0 mark, but losing out in the semifinals of the playoffs. And in Division 1AA, Roy Kidd in his 18th year at Eastern Kentucky. Eastern Kentucky this year ranked number 1 in the nation in the final regular season poll, and for the 3rd year in a row, Roy Kidd has taken his Colonels to the national championship final game. Now in Division 1A, the Coach of the Year, Hayden Fry of the University of Iowa. The Hawkeyes posted their first winning season in 20 years in 1981. They'll be making their first trip to the Rose Bowl since 1959. They won a co-championship with the Ohio State Buckeyes in the Big Ten, their first championship since the year of 1960. So really it's a pleasure to welcome Hayden Fry to this presentation, and to make the presentation an old friend, Mr. Bob Cook, General Sales Manager of the Chevrolet Motor Division. Bob?
Thank you, Bill. Congratulations, Coach Fry. It's been one of those pressure-filled, unpredictable seasons for you and your fellow coaches. But your leadership brought your team to a highly successful season. And in recognition of your accomplishments this year, it gives me a lot of pleasure to present this trophy that signifies your selection as the Chevrolet Coach of the Year for Division I schools. And along with this, a check for $2,500 that's made out to the General Scholarship Fund, Iowa University. Congratulations.
Thank you, Bob. This is a great tribute, a real compliment to my coaches, my football players, a real honor for the University of Iowa. And I'd just like to thank you and Chevrolet for the fantastic job you do each year in the support of college football.
Okay, and good luck in the Rose Bowl.
Thank you, sir.
Bill, let me say that all of us at Chevrolet are delighted with the fine job that ABC sports staff has done in selecting our Coaches of the Year. I know it had to be a tough job.
Thank you, Bob. And again, on behalf of ABC and the NCAA, we would like to thank Chevrolet for donating not only this check of $2,500 to Iowa, but to the other 3 schools of the coaches so named. And it brings to a total at the end of this 1981 season the astounding mark of $1.4 million. You can certainly be very proud of that.
Thank you.
Hayden, thanks for joining us. Good luck again in the Rose Bowl. And now let's return for more halftime activities at the Gator Bowl and Al Michaels.
Back at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, North Carolina 10, Arkansas 10 at the half. And the crowd of 70,000 looking on to be entertained now by the North Carolina Marching Tar Heels, who come down from Chapel Hill. Major John Yesulitis, the band director, and their rendition of Eli's Coming. North Carolina Marching Tar Heels entertaining the crowd at the Gator Bowl. Band putting on a good show, and both teams putting on a very good show. In the first half, Al Michaels back along with Ara Parsegian. I think the only thing that may have surprised a few people, I think most of the experts felt we may see a high-scoring game. May not turn out that way, but it's been a most interesting first half.
Well, you're pitting two great football teams together with a lot of talent, and there's a lot of good strategy going on in the game. It's the kind of game that I enjoy seeing because there's good plays on both sides, and as evidenced by the fact that this is a 10-10 game. Good coaches on both sides, good personnel, and good preparation. So it's been an impressive first half as far as I'm concerned.
You've had a chance to see Kelvin Bryant when he was very healthy against Boston College, when he was not particularly healthy against Clemson, and again tonight. Everybody, of course, hears about, talks about Marcus Allen, the Heisman Trophy winner, the bull at Georgia, Herschel Walker. We know what he can do. They liken him, of course, to Earl Campbell. Bryant's been likened to Gale Sayers. Where do you think Kelvin would rank among the great backs right now in college football?
Well, he's a different kind of runner. You compare Marcus Allen. Marcus Allen was probably physically stronger and more of a power type of guy. And when he got into the secondary this year, then he didn't run over people. He avoided them. I saw him a year ago. But Kelvin Bryant, without question, and he has another year, is going to be one of the greats. I really believe that, providing, of course, that he stays healthy. He had the misfortune of getting the knee in the Georgia Tech game after he'd had such a sensational start. And I consider him an outstanding talent that we'll hear about in another year again.
Go back and take a look at some of the highlights in the first half. North Carolina was able to break out on top early on a field goal by Brooks Barwick. That made the score 3-0, but Arkansas came back quickly. One play, 66 yards. Taylor finding Holloway.
Beautiful execution by Taylor. You know, for a freshman, let's keep that in mind. He's just a freshman. And he hits Holloway here on an up pattern where Holloway beats Sammy Johnson, number 8, on just a straight up pattern to the post. And you can see his speed and the distance that he beat him by. There was no chance of catching him, and this was a well-executed play and typical of Lou Holtz ball clubs, the big play attack.
Here's a key play. It came with a score 7-3. Arkansas, North Carolina punting, and an Arkansas man making contact with the ball and giving Carolina possession at the 6-yard line.
But in closer examination, Frank Broyles came to the booth here a few moments ago and thought that the ball had hit Ron Spurl, number 68, and we examined the film again here. The ball does does hit a North Carolina man, which really did not make a live ball. Now, if you look right here, the ball will hit his foot and then bounce over and hit an Arkansas man, and the official will come from the right side and throw the bag where they marked the ball. You see him coming into the picture right now. You see him throw the bag. That means that that ball has been touched by a North Carolina man, that it is not a live ball, and of course they ruled the other way. And Ron Spurl, who was the guy that the ball hit his foot, is the same guy that leads Bryant into the end zone on the touchdown that North Carolina capitalized on after this break. Here it is, Kelvin Bryant, number 44, Jones the lead blocker. Spurl will come around and knock the linebacker out right there as Bryant drives into the end zone. So it really was a bad break for Arkansas. They should not have lost that ball at that point.
That gave North Carolina a 10-7 advantage, and then Arkansas moved quickly, got the ball back deep in their own territory late in the first half, and were able to maneuver from their own 11 deep enough into North Carolina territory to set up a field goal by Bruce Leahy from 28 yards away with just 4 seconds left on the clock. And so we're tied at the half. Arkansas 10 and North Carolina 10. And the Gator Bowl, the Tar Heels against the Razorbacks, is being brought to you by the award-winning wines of Ernest and Julio Gallo, and by Chevrolet and your local Chevy dealer, who invites you to come in and see the all-new Celebrity and Camaro. Chevy makes good things happen. 10-10 tie at the half, and we'll be back at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, after this commercial and a word from your local stations. We're back at the Gator Bowl. It really is the Gator Bowl. This is not a Hitchcock movie. You cannot believe how foggy it is. And again, with our lens filters, at least you're able to see from the low-angle cameras in particular the action here. But for the good part of the crowd of 70,000, it is almost impossible to tell what is happening down on the field. But we've got a good football game. 10-10 is our halftime score. Arkansas and North Carolina matched up in the 37th Gator Bowl, as the teams re-enter the Carolina Tar Heels. Coming out from the far side, Arkansas coming back out, and let's check in with Steve Davis and Coach Lou Holtz.
Coach, what'd you tell your Razorbacks at halftime?
We had a little kicking game meeting. I was a little bit concerned coming in here about it, but I felt our football team was hanging in there. They competed. They did some awful good things. I've never seen a game where maybe it ought to be canceled because of the fog like this, but we've dropped some passes that we don't normally drop. That's not any excuse. We're playing a fine football team. I think it's been a fine game. We've made some mistakes. You can't make it a kicking game.
Now, Coach, you told us that Brad Taylor was at 50%. He does not look like he's at 50%. He looks 100% right now.
Coach, he really is. But I also said this, that if people ever saw Brad Taylor as I've seen him, they would really be impressed with him. He's a fine quarterback. He's not executing in certain areas of it. He needs more practice time. I look forward to having him in spring practice. But, you know, Brad Taylor hadn't come over to the bench and say, Coach, I don't need these other 10 guys. So obviously it's still a team game.
Okay, what's going to happen second half?
Well, I don't know. You know, it depends upon how well we play on offense and defense. I do think that we can throw the football if we can protect it. Field position is important. We haven't had good field position, but we've given them good field position. I think it's just a question of a football team coming out and saying, hey, this is the last 30 minutes I'm going to play. And we just have to do the best we can and have faith in God and live with it.
Thank you, Coach. Lou Holtz, a man of few words.
A man of few words, huh? We're going to take a look. I remember the interview Steve Davis did with Lou Holtz coming after the half had ended at the Arkansas-Texas A&M game. He wasn't too excited about his team's performance, and Steve said, what changes are you going to make in the second half? And he said, the coaching staff.
Right. I was there doing the game. He's a great one-liner. There's Dick Crum. And there's the fog. And here's the stats. You can see the score, of course, is 10-10, and the first downs are very close. The yardage rushing is in the favor of North Carolina, but look at the difference in the passing yardage. Total yardage favors Arkansas with that passing game, and only one turnover, and of course, as we saw in the replay, it was not a justified one.
Time of possession just about even. As Arkansas gets set to kick off, it'll be Bruce Leahy booting it deep to Mark Smith and Ethan Horton. Back deep, standing on the goal line. So here we go, a 10-10 tie as we start the second half in Jacksonville. Horton from the 4 out to the 20 and to the 33-yard line. Darryl Ackerfeld makes a stop. We'll take a look at Arkansas defensively. You've got Ron Farreau, number 69, 250-pounder. Nose guard is Richard Richardson, junior out of Little Rock. Philip Glorin, the defensive tackle, sophomore from Dallas. There's the All-American, Billy Ray Smith from Plano, Texas. Darryl Ackerfeld making his first start of the season. Bert Zinnemann, sophomore, 5'11", 216, and Milton Fields, who was sparingly used during the regular season. Had a penalty flag thrown, unbeknownst to just about everybody.
An illegal push by the receivers on the run back. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Nobody's going to argue with him, I'll tell you that.
But I cannot see the ball at all. Don't know what line it's on.
The ball is on about the 15-yard line after the penalty. First down and 10. And they start with Kelvin Bryant. Bryant getting out to the 17-yard line, and Milton Fields there for the stop. You've got Danny Walters, the cornerback, ran one back 87 yards against Mississippi. Nathan Jones is a freshman. Keith Burns can play all over, former linebacker, now strong safety. Ron Matheny is the free safety. Gain of 2, second down 8 at the 17-yard line.
See, Crum doesn't like the way things are starting because he's had a penalty, he's got poor field position, and fighting the wind, what little there is.
It's Kelvin Bryant, stacked up at about the 19-yard line. If you're wondering why our director, Craig Janoff, is taking some low-angle shots here, the reason is from the high cameras, you cannot see the field at all, even with the lens filters. There it is. That's what it would look like to shoot it from up high.
I'll say one thing, Arkansas knew where the ball was. They did a good job on that draw play. It's the same play that North Carolina had success with in the first half, but they really shut it down there.
Third down, call it 6 from the 19-yard line. We'll watch it from the end zone. It is Elkins back to pass, we think, and complete to the 20-yard line. It's Bryant who makes the catch and gets out to about the 27-yard line. Milton Fields and Ron Matheny converge on the tackle. So they move it out to the 28, and that's a first down.
Well, we can see this is Elkins dropping back into the pocket, finds Bryant out here in the flare, the flat, and of course he catches the ball and comes up the sideline for a first down. He's run out of bounds by Milton Fields at the 27.
First and 10, North Carolina from that spot. It's Tyrone Anthony out to the 34-yard line. Billy Ray Smith and Milton Fields.
They've heard their numbers quite a bit here in this ball game, both of them. And Fields, this is his first start.
Offensively, Elkins with Jones and Bryant, the running backs, Smith and Richardson, the wide receivers, and the guys up front. Second down 3 from the 35-yard line with Ethan Horton in at tailback. And Horton carrying, looking for the first down and bunched up near the 38-yard line. So where they mark it?
The old adage, repeat successful plays. They ran exactly the same play that time as they did the previous one. It wasn't quite as successful, but it is close to a first down. Did he get it?
First down.
He did.
Yeah.
They radioed it in. We had hoped to have the Goodyear blimp hovering high above the Gator Bowl tonight. No chance.
This is a time and place for a lot of misdirection and bootlegs.
Time for Agatha Christie. First down from the 39-yard line. Elkins throwing into the fog and incomplete. Intended for Richardson, and a marker is thrown. Ron Matheny was the man covering on the play, and somewhere in the gloom is a flag.
Defensive pass interference, automatic first down.
Well, Well, we certainly couldn't see it from here. Let's see if we can see it in the replay. Elkins comes on back. He's trying to hit Richardson, number 19. Let's see if we can pick it up here. Oh, yeah, we can see it there. Very definitely. Matheny definitely interferes with Richardson.
So it's a first down from the 27-yard line. Stopped at about the 25. Nathan Jones making the tackle.
He made a good tackle on the play. Jones, the left cornerback, has supported very fast. Made a great play. And just a freshman, taking one-on-one with a running back is no easy chore.
Kelvin Bryant comes back in at tailback. 11:25 remaining. Third quarter. Second down, call it 9. Give it to Bryant. Bryant inside the 20. Inside the 15. Down to the 13-yard line.
Another example of his ability. Being able to read the daylight and make the moves that are necessary to get yardage. Both linebackers finally make the play. Fields and Zinneman, here it is. Just the same tailback off tackle. Look at him weave away from the tacklers. There's 3 right there that could have had him. He came away from them. Again, making moves. They caught him from the rear, not from the front.
So first and 10, North Carolina from the 13-yard line. Bryant, top man in the eye. Kelvin again. Gets to about the 10. And it'll be second down and 7 as Ron Perot and Keith Burns make the stop.
And Kelvin has lost his shoe again.
Bryant now up and over the 100 mark. 19 carries for 104 yards.
And you consider that Horton's been in there with a lot of opportunities as well as Anthony at that running back spot.
Done a decent job. Come up with split backs this time. And on second down, Elkins is going to put it up. Throwing and incomplete. Intended for Tyrone Anthony.
Elkins pass intended for Anthony.
Third down and 7. The crowd is quiet right now, and it's very obvious. There are only about 19 people in the entire stadium that can actually see what's happening. Those closest to the ball, and that's it. We kid you not. The only reason you're able to see pictures with any clarity at all is from the low angles. Third down, 7 from the 10. Through the middle comes Horton and works his way down to the 2-yard line. Brian Blados led the charge.
They've been attacking that tailback isolation play and off tackle to the left over Brian Blados, who's a big guy, 6'6" and about 290. There's Crum. He's a cool guy, I'll tell you, and he's a winner.
It's a first down with exactly 10 minutes now to play in the third period. First down, Carolina. Ball at the 2. Horton.
Nope.
Shy. Setting up second down and goal.
Number 86, Doug Sickles, who is the other tight end that comes in. He was making signaling touchdown. And he was a good foot short of the goal line.
Two teams tied 10-10. North Carolina inches away from moving out in front again. Horton is the tailback. Horton with the ball, tries to spin in and does. Ethan Horton puts North Carolina on top 16-10. And it was Ron Sproul, 68. The man whose position Horton went right through.
Now let's just a power isolation play with Ethan Horton, who is 6'4", 215, 16 pounds. Ron Spurl, the guard, does a great job of blocking, and it's I'll tell you, that was quite a drive.
Extra point attempt by Hayes is good. So a very impressive Carolina drive. Culminates with a touchdown. 9:12 to go in the third. Tar Heels by 7. Man with a sign. Well, if he was a wrist wrestler, we could have had him on before this. Here's Ethan Horton, the man who put it in the end zone for Carolina, putting them on top by 7 as Hayes kicks off into the night and out of the end zone.
That's right, into the night.
So the fog blanketing the Gator Bowl here in Jacksonville. If this were an airport, it would be closed right now. 9:12 to go in the third quarter. Carolina with an impressive drive, 85 yards. Key play on that drive, that 34-yard pass interference penalty. But Carolina moving downfield well, mixing up their plays well, consuming 5:48, leading by 7. First and 10 Arkansas from the 20-yard line. Freshman quarterback Taylor setting up, throwing, and complete out to the 27-yard line to Bill Pierce, who was sent out of the backfield, and Mike Wilcher, the linebacker, 84, makes the tackle.
Pierce came all the way from the right halfback spot through the line and came underneath the linebackers, and Taylor hit him.
You've got Taylor with Pierce and Anderson starting at the running back spots. Mishler and Holloway, the wideouts. And the guys up front with Mason, the tight end. Second down 3 from the 27-yard line. Pierce is stopped shy of a first down. Third and short upcoming for Arkansas. Carolina defensively, Parry, Fortune, and Fuller is outstanding, number 95. Linebackers Wilcher, Nicholson, Ward, and Daniels. Remember, they're missing Schaffer, who's out with an injury. Their top man there, Poole, Black, Jackson, and Johnson, the secondary. Third down 1, again, our low coverage because you can't see anything from the high cameras in the fog. It's Anderson getting the first down. Chris Ward making the stop as 143 tackles the other. Holtz continues to pace. What did he say yesterday? He said, nobody can grab me this way.
That's right.
Moving target is tougher to hit.
That's what he said. We asked him how come he walks so much, and he says a moving target is harder to hit.
7:48 to go. Third quarter.
End zone shot.
First and 10 from the 33-yard line. Anderson gets out to about the 36, picks up 3. Steve Fortune making the tackle. What does this do to your passing game? The fog is obviously affecting play down on the field, too.
Well, I think on the field, I think they can see better. I really believe they can throw the ball because Taylor did hit the receiver there. The ball may get a little bit wet, but I think they're seeing better there than certainly that we can see them from this distance and this vantage point.
What about long
Because you see the ground level shot here. Yeah, the long pass may go up into that fog and come down. There's a little screen pass. Anderson,
40.
Out.
He's to the 45. He's into Carolina territory. He's to the 40, the 30, and they get him at about the 23-yard line. Sammy Johnson and Bill Jackson were the men who made the stop.
Just a little slip screen to the left, well executed, and as we said at the top, if Anderson gets some daylight, look out. And that's what he got that time. Here's a ground level shot with Taylor going back. Now watch him dump the ball right out here to Anderson, right out here to the left. He picks up a block or two and cuts clear back across the grain, all the way across before he's finally picked up by Sammy Johnson, number 6 here. Runs him down, and he gets some help there also from Bill Jackson.
43-yard pickup. Ball at the 21-yard line. Straight ahead goes Pierce. Picks up a yard. Second down. Holtz sending in a play. Mark Mishler is the man. His brother, of course, a big hero in New York, caught a touchdown pass that culminated the Giants' second drive against Philadelphia yesterday.
It's absolutely amazing how clear the shot is when we're on the sideline with the coaches, and of course how foggy it is from this point as well as out there on the field.
I don't know that the players can necessarily see it that clearly, too. You've got a lens filter that helps to clarify things. Meanwhile, you've got a call going against North Carolina with a marker down on the last play. And it appeared to be a personal foul.
Dead ball, personal foul against the defense, automatic first down.
A dead ball personal foul for an automatic first down.
And we could not see it from here.
So the ball is right on the 10-yard line. And it's first down. Arkansas trying to drive in for the tying touchdown. Clark gets down to about the 5-yard line as Chris Ward makes the tackle. So both teams coming out very impressively offensively in the second half. Carolina with a long drive, and Arkansas trying to culminate a long drive.
And they've got two tight ends in there. And they'll try to run the ball, try to pound it in there.
Second down at the 5. Taking it to the 3-yard line. It is third down. It's difficult to tell, Larry, if they can pick up a first down without a touchdown. The ball was just about on the 10-yard line. Maybe academic. It's third down and for all practical purposes, goal at this point.
Right, and there was that dive play again. Here's a shot that we can see a little bit. Of course, that's the... No, I don't believe... Well, I don't know whether they can or not. I don't think they can. It looks like that marker's right on the goal line on the far field, far side.
5:29 to go in the period. Third down and goal. Off the fake. Taylor setting up, throws a bullet into the end zone and through the hands of Mason. He rifled it.
Yeah, that
pass
short
that required some touch.
He had him wide open. He didn't need to really. Of course, he felt like he was pressed for time, and he really wasn't. Now watch here from this vantage point here. He has plenty of time to throw it, and watch him. He's moving the ball, moving the ball. Is he? Where is he? Where is he? Now he really just unloads the thing. And Mason, it was just a little bit to Mason's left, but he really hummed that ball.
It is Leahy who comes in to attempt the field goal. The ball will be spotted at the 9-yard line, so it's a 19-yard attempt at an angle. And Leahy's kick, Carolina is saying no good, and so are the officials.
Well, I'll be darned. That's unusual for him because he is really a consistent kicker.
So a frustrating end to a drive that had a promising beginning, and with 5:13 to play in the third, it's still 17-10 North Carolina. The Gator Bowl in Jacksonville with 5 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the third period. Arkansas coming up empty on its last drive with Leahy missing the field goal attempt. 5:13 to go third quarter. North Carolina favored to win and leading by 7. First and 10. Tar Heels from the 20-yard line. Kelvin Bryant out rushing the entire Arkansas team thus far. And it's Bryant picking up more yardage, getting out close to the 29-yard line, stopped there by Darrell Ackerfeld and Bert Zinnerman.
That's the third time he's lost his shoe. I don't know whether or not the thing doesn't fit right or what. Here it is, the same play to the left over Blados, Drexler, and Robinson, and there's a good hole there, and he really gets in there and gets that yardage.
On second down and 1, Elkins off the fake and throwing and completing it for a first down on the far side.
Looks like he might be hurt. Was that Richardson?
I couldn't tell. It's a mystery still at this point in the fog.
There's the wind knocked out of him as you see him. They're working on him.
So a first down. It's number 48. That's the fullback, James Jones.
Yeah, he came out of the backfield.
So he makes his first reception of the night, but it may be a costly one for North Carolina. So time is out on the field with 4 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the third period. Still 17-10 Tar Heels. 4:41 remaining. Well, on a night like this, I guess Tony Bennett could say he left his heart in Jacksonville. Looks just like the city by the bay. The fog rolling in, has been for most of the game, and on first down, it is Ethan Horton sidestepping his way for good yardage out near midfield as Richard Richardson makes the tackle. Bobby Ratliff is now in the game, replacing the injured James Jones at fullback. Carolina coming up without a huddle after a first down pickup. It's first and 10 at the 45-yard line of the Tar Heels. Horton gets to the 50 and gets into Arkansas territory as he moves to the 48-yard line.
He was stopped at the line of scrimmage, gave a second effort, and picked up additional yardage. If they're trying to get the shoe on to stay on Kelvin, you better find a pair of stomps on there that can stay on.
At the Arkansas 48.
There's another look at it. You see right here as Horton does the job. He was stopped at the line and just kept right on plowing.
First and 10 from the 48-yard line, and it's Horton taking it to about the 44. Philip Boren making the tackle. Ethan Horton, just a freshman out of Kannapolis, North Carolina. Big man at 6'4", 214 pounds.
Another example of the great guard play of North Carolina. Ron Spurl pulled from his right guard spot, run across, made a beautiful trap, and opened up the hole.
That's what we'll have for you on Friday. Guarantee you there will not be any fog in the Superdome on Friday evening. It'll be Georgia against Pittsburgh. Herschel Walker, though, could pull a few people in the fog. Kelvin Bryant back in at tailback and takes it down to the 36-yard line. So Carolina impressively moving again on their second possession of the second half, and the clock has run down to the 3:02 mark here in the third period.
Looks like the North Carolina power is starting to take its toll on the Arkansas defense. They were penetrating through the left side. They kept running the left side. That time they had the little gadget where they deal the ball off to Kelvin Bryant on a little lateral, a little special play. Horton worked well.
Horton is back in, and Smith in motion from the 35-yard line. And it's Horton inside the 30, the 25, the 20, and out of bounds near the 15-yard line. They'll spot it at the 14. What a night for Horton. Bobby Ratliff led the way with a block. The man who's picking up the slack for the injured Jones.
How about this guy? Where are you going to have this kind of running backs they have? Here it is. It's just beautifully blocked. Look at the hole. He jumps to the outside, down the sideline. This is Horton, who's going to be a quarterback next year. Here's another look at it. Just a quick pitch out. He gets good blocking at the front. No one touches him. And this is a man 6'4", 215. He's a real man, I'll tell you.
First down from the 14-yard line. Bryant spinning and maneuvering, and Kelvin gets close. He is stopped at the 1.
Well, there's no question about the power of the offensive line of North Carolina. Here it is again. Here's the right guard Spurl and the backside guard Drexler pulling. And there you see Kelvin Bryant makes the first tackle or miss. No chance, makes a spin off. Look at him weave away from where the tacklers are. Again, demonstrating great work. Ron Matheny comes up and finally makes the play.
First and goal, ball at the 1, 2:12 to play, third period. North Carolina leading 17-10. And a yard and a half away from stretching that advantage. Give it to Mr. Touchdown, and he gets inside the 1, but does not get in. Billy Ray Smith was right there.
Well, I tell you, you can't get any closer than this. But he was stopped. I think it's the right call. We get a ground level shot here. As you see here, he makes a second effort right there. But you see the ball is not crossed across the goal line. And the official makes the right call. It's probably, what, 1 inch away from that goal line?
Bryant now 23 carries, 136 yards, looking for a second touchdown. Instead, it is Elkins who tries to burrow his way in and does. Touchdown. Rod Elkins with a touchdown. The crowd finding out by word of mouth. Somebody sees it and starts to cheer, and everybody else picks up.
I'm sure the people in the end zone have no idea where that ball is.
Not a clue. But North Carolina is on top 23-10.
Just a quick sneak by Elkins. Gets into the end zone. And the center, Johnston, who's a freshman that started after McGrew was hurt, the starting center, does a good job of blocking. There's the extra point.
By Jeff Hayes. Carolina moving down the field again. Twice in a row here in the second half. 1:26 remaining. Third period. It's 24-10. North Carolina. At the Gator Bowl, Al Michaels with Ara Parsegian and Steve Davis. It's 24-10 North Carolina with the Tar Heels. To kick off, Derek Holloway is back deep to receive the kick of Hayes. Coming right at you. And fielded and fumbled by one of the short men, Scott Shalene. He's in trouble. Down he goes. blue pompons of the North Carolina contingent coming down from Chapel Hill. They've got plenty to be happy about here in the second half. Offense moving methodically, defense giving ground to Arkansas on the Razorbacks last drive, but they came up empty. Carolina just took it 80 yards, 10 plays, with Elkins sneaking in for the score.
And that's the last thing that Lou Holtz wanted, was the kind of field position that he is now saddled with.
It'll be 1st and 10. At the 7-yard line. There was apparently a penalty marker.
And obviously against North Carolina.
Yep. And again, one that nobody saw at all. So again, and we hate to be redundant, but people do tune in late. It is so foggy here in Jacksonville that our high cameras are really rendered useless in this fog. So we're having to show you the game. Our producer Ken Wolf, director Craig Janoff from a low angle, and perhaps creating a new art form. At least the way to do it in the fog. It's the only way.
I think that last end zone shot depicts quite well what the players are able to see. I think they're getting more vision there, certainly, than we are from this vantage point.
Holloway again back deep. This time the kickoff coming from the 35-yard line. Holloway fielding it at the goal line. Out past the 10. Sidestepping and then going out of bounds. Somewhere up around the 22-yard line. Rod Elkins. As you look at the quarterback comparisons, Elkins only 53 yards through the air, but he's been at the helm for 2 very successful drives, mainly on the ground here in the second half. 1st and 10. Arkansas from the 23-yard line. Taylor faking to Clark and then tripping and going down. Brad Taylor, I think, caught the foot of Charles Ginn, number 61, the offensive right guard. See if we can pick it up.
Let's see if we can see it here. He's coming down the line on the option. He fakes the ball to Clark, and he does. He trips right over the, or it might have been defensive penetration. I couldn't quite see. But in any event, it's a no-gainer.
It is a loss of 3. 2nd down, 13. Ball at about the 17-yard line. It is complete out to the 27-yard line to Mark Missler.
And a good grab on his part. Ball was thrown low. You see here, Taylor rolls out to his left. Missler is on the sideline right here. Let's take a look at it and see why the crowd was booing. Well, you certainly can't see the line there, but it looks to me like it's a completion.
I think they're just programmed to boo. There's no way that anybody in the stands could possibly know he was in bounds. 11 seconds to go in the period. 3rd down, about 4 from the 27-yard line. Gator has his pass knocked away. Joe Conwell was putting on the rush along with Steve Fortson. One of those two, the man who got his hand on it. And we have 5 seconds remaining in the period. And Arkansas forced to punt. Leahy to kick it away. That's Greg Poole, number 32, standing back at his own 32-yard line. Carolina trying to set up the return as they rush only the outside men. Poole signals for a fair catch, fumbles, but recovers at the 37-yard line, and time has expired in the 3rd period. So when the 4th quarter commences, North Carolina will have the ball. 15 minutes to play, 24-10. Our score through 3. And we'll be back in Jacksonville after this commercial message and a word from our local stations. In a dense fog, we begin the 4th quarter at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. Al Michaels with Ara Parseghian and Steve Davis. It was 10-10 at the half, but North Carolina with two very successful drives in the third quarter, leading now 24-10. And as the fourth quarter begins, North Carolina has it first and 10 at their own 37-yard line. Elkins sends Griffin in motion and pitches it to Kelvin Bryant, who gets past the 40 and shoved out of bounds into the Arkansas bench at the 44-yard line by Bobby Shantz.
That was quite a quarter for North Carolina. They had the ball 2 possessions, scored on both of them, and controlled the ball for 9 minutes and 35 seconds, and most of it running. And here's the stat. You can see how they've changed. There was only 163 yards for North Carolina total offense. Now you see it at 294.
On second down and 4, it's Bryant again to the 45 and out to close to the 47-yard line, close to a first down.
Here we are again where North Carolina has jumped out to an 18-13 advantage in first downs. The rushing yardage, and that's the difference in this game right there, that rushing yardage. Passing, of course, is dominated by Arkansas, but most of that is that 66-yard bomb that they hit. Even though the yardage is even, that running game and the front of and the blocking of that North Carolina line has been without question the difference.
And we were even at the half. Carolina with a long drive that culminated in a touchdown. Arkansas with a long drive that bogged down, and Leahy took the wind out of the sails by missing a field goal. Carolina came right back to score. And now after holding, the Razorbacks have it again from the 47-yard line. Going out to the 50 is Ethan Horton, and he picks up the first down. So North Carolina very much in command at this point with a 14-point lead. A very good ground game going. They are physically winning the battle up front against the Arkansas defense. And the clock they would like to have work in their favor, and can do so, of course, by staying on the ground and chewing up the yardage and picking up the first downs with 14-14 remaining in the game. First and 10 from the 50. It's Horton. Pushed back after he picks up 1. Forward progress down to the Arkansas 49. Ron Farreau making the stop. Should point out too, Aaron, both these teams are very young. Arkansas does not start one senior on defense, so you're looking at a couple of teams that will probably be very highly rated going into the 1982 season.
Well, I think both teams would have been ranked much higher this year had they not had the injuries. Particularly North Carolina with the loss of Elkins and Bryant. Those, your quarterback and your tailback, those are big losses.
On second down and 9, Elkins in trouble, and it's Jeff Goff, number 34, the linebacker who flips through and makes the tackle.
Great play by Goff. Now, he was one of the guys that was beaten out when they started the whole preseason. He'd been a starter. Here's Elkins rolling out to his right. Watch Goff come into the picture on the left side, right there. And he really gets Elkins, brings him down for a big loss. But he was one of the guys that was beaten out. And, of course, here he is playing in the ball game and demonstrating that he's a very capable football player.
Huge loss, 15 yards from second and 9. We go to third and 24. They let Horton try to pick up some of that, and he gets only a couple. Taking it to the 38-yard line, and so Carolina forced to kick it away.
And with 12:48 to go and 14 points down, you're going to have to expect Brad Taylor to put that ball up.
Hayes to kick. Arkansas setting up what they hope is a return. It is Anderson making the catch at the 18 and running it back 7 or 8 out to the 26-yard line. So the Razorbacks trying to mount a drive from there with 12 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in the game. It's North Carolina 24, Arkansas 10. The 37th Gator Bowl, 12 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in the game. Arkansas with the ball, North Carolina leading by 14. The Razorbacks start this drive from their 26 with a mishandled snap and recovery by Taylor, who lurches forward for a yard or so. Carolina bench, a team 9-2 this season. At one point this year, they were 6-0 and ranked 3rd in the country. But Bryant was hurt, Elkins got hurt, and lost to South Carolina. And then 2 weeks subsequent to that, were beaten by Clemson in a heartbreaker 10-8.
I think Lou Holtz's prophecy, too, he was concerned about the ability of his defensive front to be able to handle the offensive line of North Carolina, and they've had difficulty.
Very much so, especially in the second half. Taylor unwinding and throwing, and it's picked off by number 17. It's Darrell Lucas with the interception for North Carolina. Mark Missler was the intended receiver near mid
the field here, you're going to see that tailback position again. The philosophy of the tailback attack. Here's the replay. I'll get back to that in a minute. Here's a replay of it. Taylor rolling out to his left. We could not see from this level just exactly what happened, but we do know that Lucas intercepted the ball. Right there. It was underthrown. It appears to be underthrown. And I believe the pass was intended for Kidd, I think.
Missler.
No, Missler.
On first down from the 50-yard line, it's Ethan Horton again. Having a great night. There's the man who made the interception right there, Darrell Lucas, 5'10", 175. Sophomore from Selma, North Carolina.
Al, you're looking right now at well over 260 yards has been gained by the tailback position alone of North Carolina. And you're looking at Bryant, and of course Anthony's been hurt. Hasn't seen much of him, but certainly Horton's done a job.
Second down and 4. It's Horton again. To the 40-yard line. There he is. Converted quarterback. Annapolis, North Carolina.
Very highly recruited. I think he was the most recruited and most wanted and sought after youngster last year. And North Carolina was very fortunate to land that type of blue chipper.
He did not get the first down. They're shy by a yard or less on third down and 1. And Elkins keeps it himself and gets inside the 40-yard line to about the 39. That's a first down, and that chews up more of the clock, which right now shows 10 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in the game.
There's Dick Crum, who has done a great job. Got to mention that he was at my alma mater, Miami of Ohio.
Mentioned it twice, Ara.
Yeah, and the funny part of it, both of the coaches are from Ohio.
Holt's a graduate of Kent State. From the 38-yard line. It's Horton one more time. Horton gets close to the 30. Teddy Morris makes the stop. It's interesting to have somebody like Horton and Bryant. Remember last year when Kelvin Bryant was only a sophomore, he went for more than 1,000 yards on the ground. He was also in the backfield with a man who was considerably more famous. In fact, his nickname was famous, and we're talking about Amos Lawrence, who was a high-round draft choice of the San Diego Chargers and subsequently wound up with the San Francisco 49ers. But Bryant and Lawrence split the tailback chores last year.
They may be giving Southern Cal some competition for tailback youth.
Elkins going deep and trying to ice this one and can't. Intended for number 45, Mark Smith. Keith Burns back covering on the play with 9:29 to play in the game.
Arkansas, in losing 3 games, their loss by the biggest margin was by 14 points. So the North Carolina scores here, it would be the biggest difference in the score that Arkansas has felt. Here's the pass by Elkins, trying to go for the corner here, but he just threw it away. 45 Smith was overthrown.
Elkins is 7 out of 17. Showing Bryant-like moves and getting inside the 15-yard line. Bill Boren back to stop him. Whew. Ethan Horton started against Maryland, gained 94 yards that day on 26 carries.
Toss sweep. Look at the blocking. He gets through there with good blocking. Rolls off of 1 blocker. Rolls off of 2 blocker, number 30, which is Keith Burns. And again, rolls off of another blocker. I don't know which is Bryant and Horton. Some tandem.
First and 10 from the 14-yard line. That man just doesn't get tired. Moves down to the 11 for a pickup of 3. And it'll be second down and 7 upcoming with under 9 minutes to play in the game. And North Carolina on top by a score of 24-10.
And Al, if here's a...
I want to remind you, the Pro Bowlers Tour begins on January 9th. Long-running series. Chris Schenkel and Bo Burton will be back. Tour begins this year in Anaheim, California, followed by ABC's Wide World of Sports that day, the Hula Bowl from Honolulu. Bryant. That's not Bryant, that's the fullback, James Jones, number 48, who was shaken up earlier.
You know, it's interesting. If Crum and the North Carolina team hang on to the lead that they have, they will have gone under Crum to 5 bowl games. Crum has been involved in 5 bowl games. He's won every one. When he was at Miami of Ohio, he beat Georgia and South Carolina. And when he's been here, he's beaten the likes of Michigan in this bowl game 2 years ago, and Texas in the Blue Bonnet, and now possibly Arkansas in the Gator.
pretty good hat trick.
Hasn't lost a game in a bowl game if he hangs on to what he's got.
Horton.
Holding.
Horton lost control of the ball for a moment and then was able to recover at the 3-yard line with 7:50 remaining in the game. And he picks up enough for a first down. So they spotted at the 4, first down and goal. And Elkins pitching it to Horton. And he deserves it.
Well, he carried the load on that drive, didn't he?
In for the touchdown. You really deserve it when you do all of the work on a drive, and then so often you'll see the quarterback go in or somebody else carry the ball in that last yard. You might as well get it yourself, and he does.
And let's not forget the guys that were up there blocking for him. I mean, the line has done a great job. Mike Mars, Kroll, Johnston, Drexler, Blados, and, of course, the tight end Sheldon Robinson.
That's very much been the story of the second half. They have simply been outmanned, have Arkansas up front. North Carolina dominating the line of scrimmage. Hayes' kick splits the uprights. And North Carolina, not only with a good and successful drive, but chewed up a good part of the clock. And now with just 7:29 to go in the game, it's 31-10, North Carolina. Ethan Horton, who dominated that last drive for North Carolina. His numbers on the night. Bryant's had a fine night. North Carolina has dominated the second half. They lead by 3 touchdowns. We have 7:29 to go in the game. And Jeff Hayes to put it in the air for the Tar Heels. Deep kick. No return. Crowd of 70,000. Hey, calm down there. Carolina bench. Happy crew right now. Well, we mentioned at the outset, as you look at the numbers on that last drive, the difference, the contrast, and the styles of preparation. Carolina low-keyed it, took advantage of some opportunities normally afforded only to tourists in this area. Arkansas did things a different way. It's Clark taking the pass out past the 25 to 30, and Jesse works his way out to the 37-yard line for a first down and gets up quickly to get back in the huddle because Arkansas can't afford to fool around. Let's check in with Steve Davis.
Rod, you played a great game, and those last 3 drives looked pretty easy.
Well, we didn't expect Ethan to run like that. In fact, we didn't even know that he was going to be running behind Kelvin tonight, and he's been a pleasant surprise.
You've got to be happy with your offensive line. They played great today.
Yeah, they played great, and we've been running 2 consecutive plays, which has thrown their defense off a little bit, and they haven't been able to run their pro-style type defense that they usually run, so we've thrown them off a little bit, and I think that's helped out.
Thank you, Rod. Al?
All right, Steve. Rod Elkins, a word with Steve Davis. Meanwhile, the fullback Clark picks up 2 more out to the 40-yard line. It'll be second down call at 8. The Carolina tailbacks have now gained 304 yards tonight. Taylor to throw, finds Anderson, and he is dropped out at the 43-yard line for a pickup of close to 3. Darrell Nicholson makes the stop. Tonight, Horton with 142 yards. There it is. Bryant, 145. You've got Anthony with 17, and you've got Arkansas with a total of 97. Third down 4 at the 43-yard line. Taylor finding Anderson, and he is stopped close to the line of scrimmage, and we've got a late flag.
Got a little fog with it.
Dressed up in the colors of Carolina. It has been this way if you tuned in late. Fog started rolling in about the second quarter. 70,000 looking on, about 9 of whom have seen any part of the game since that point.
Oh, this is really something.
I can't remember seeing it this bad this long. It has been this way now for the better part of the last 2 hours. Darrell Nicholson is the man cited for a personal foul, the linebacker, and the march off here by the
Personal foul. Defense. Automatic first down.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line. 6 minutes remaining in the game.
That makes it tough offensively when you know you've got to play catch-up ball and the defense knows that you're going to throw the football for the most part. Put the pressure on.
It is Darrell Mason making the catch and stopped near the 20-yard line.
He's wide open also. He crossed from right to the left side, and there was no one over there in that zone.
But we've got, I believe, a procedure call. There's a marker down coming up against Arkansas.
Well, the wide receiver was moving out there while there was motion. He got back, but there was motion. You can't have 2 men moving.
Here's the call.
Illegal motion. 2 men in motion at the same time. Offense.
Holtz will try to get away with anything at the Fog, won't he?
Oh, I think there was an error made, but when that happens, it doesn't mean that you can't move 2 people, that they have to come to a complete stop.
5 minutes, 35 seconds remaining in the game. First down, 15 from the 47-yard line. Taylor going deep and looking for Holloway. Fine catch in great coverage. Down inside the 5-yard line. Steve Hendrickson, reserve defensive back, was back there with him.
Well, that was. Here's a low ground camera from the defensive side of the ball. You see Taylor retreating to the pocket. Holloway will come down the left side. Lucas and Hendrickson are covering, and he goes right up between them, right here. Goes way up, comes back for the ball, and Hendrickson had his back to it, did not see it.
Put it down just inside the 4, and on first down, it's Clark trying to move in, and he is over. Jesse Clark in for the touchdown with 5:05 remaining in the game. So Clark, who scored 5 in 1 day against Baylor and 9 during the regular season, crosses here to make it 31-16.
Look for going for 2 here.
That's the way Holtz wants it. His club trailing by 15. They're almost in motion. Taylor, now they've got a flag thrown. After the inception of the play, Clark is momentarily successful.
I think they're calling him for a pick play. I think he picked in the end zone, the offense did. Or did he call interference? I think there might have been a pick back there. No, I guess the Arkansas guys are saying, no, it's good. Yeah.
That's the initial indication, and here it is officially.
Defensive pass interference in the end zone. It will be refused. There is no distance. We have a good one here.
We do. We've got a good one here. A 2-point conversion with 5:05 to go in the game. 31-18, Carolina. Holtz still pacing. Walked a couple of miles tonight. Not very happy at the moment. His team has just gone in for a score, but he'll be a lot happier if they can recover what would figure to be an onside kick here. With 5 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the game, North Carolina leads Arkansas by 13. And Leahy to boot it. There it is, little dribbler, has to go 10 yards. And Razorbacks may very well have it. They do. Ed Jackson, number 47, coming up with the onside kick, so stick around. This one's not over.
There's a little bump. Oh, what a beautifully timed play. Just perfect. Ed Jackson came in there just right. The ball just crossed that 10-yard marker, and it's just a perfect play. And we got a ball game here. Look out.
They recovered it at the 45-yard line of Carolina, 1st and 10. So now the freshman quarterback, Brad Taylor. Arkansas, remember, pulled out 4 games late this season.
right now because there will be a 6-point difference if they get this ball in the end zone.
Holloway has caught 4 balls for 171 yards. Taylor has thrown for 300 yards tonight. 13 out of 25. Second down, goal. Taylor going to try it himself. Nothing doing. Nicholson was right there, number 29. Also Ronnie Snipes and Greg Poole making sure. Under 4 minutes remaining in the game. And third down and goal now for Arkansas. Taylor losing a yard. Third and goal from the 3. Pitches to Clark. He can't get in. So North Carolina really stiffening and setting up a 4th down and goal right now. Game in the balance, possibly, is Dick Crum. Looks on. His defense needs one more stop.
One more stop here. Let's see what Lou Holtz comes up with on this 4th down critical play. Well, Dick Crum knows the importance of it. 3 minutes and 1 second. Under 3 minutes now.
4th and goal. Taylor's going to put it up. He's throwing and incomplete. Again, he tried to throw a bullet through Darrell Mason.
And there's a flag down.
Marker is thrown. Similar situation before when Taylor was close to Mason, trying to throw it through him. This time, the penalty is illegal procedure against Arkansas, and of course it will be declined.
Well, I was surprised that Taylor went to his left. That's the hardest throw there is for a right-hander. You really have to get yourself set and in position to throw that kind of a ball. He faked the dive, and then he tried to hit Darrell Mason coming off the line, and he really was not in good balance to do so, and I think it's a very difficult pass to throw. They could have done it very easily, just as easily, to the right to hit Mason. Now take a look at it here. They'll fake the dive to the left to the Clark. Taylor goes down, fakes the ball in the dive, steps back slightly. Now he turns all the way back and he drops back, and you can see the ball he's throwing off balance, falling away from it. And of course the ball Mason had no chance.
Dead ball foul.
It's a dead ball foul. And that's the key right there. When you saw the flag and the replay go up, the official was signaling stop the play, in essence, stop the clock. That means that the penalty can't be declined and that Arkansas still has the ball.
Well, he signaled motion.
He signaled dead ball foul, illegal procedure, put his hands up. You could see it in the replay. So after Carolina thought they had taken over by declining the penalty and bringing the offensive unit back out, the official with a dead ball foul call, meaning the play was stopped before it ever started. Carolina now takes a timeout on defense, and the difference is that you don't have the option of declining the penalty.
I did not see the dead ball foul signal.
I didn't see it until the replay. When you can see the official throw the flag and then signal.
Look at that. See,
Crum the play. Crum doesn't like the call at all.
Absolutely. Now that is demonstrative as you'll see him. Get over here. I want to talk to you. There you are.
Dick, who is a very rational thinker, a man with a degree in mathematics
and physics,
listening, not necessarily agreeing.
It appeared to be a late call. I think that's his greatest concern because he thought the play was over with. It was an incompleted pass. They had declined the penalty, and then we had a dead ball foul. In any event, Arkansas will get another opportunity.
So with 2:50 remaining in the game and North Carolina leading by 13, it is 4th down and goal for Arkansas. Lou still pacing back and forth. And now Taylor's going to take a timeout. He'll take a timeout. He would obviously figure to be throwing here, Arrow. What he needs to do, and he's shown us twice now, he gets down deep, he's within a few yards of his receiver, and he's trying to throw a bullet right through his stomach.
He did that on 2 occasions. Now, his most successful play has been when he rolls out deep to the left with a reverse pivot.
sends Taylor back in. The freshman, Brad Taylor, took over when Tom Jones was hurt in midseason.
Those numbers are impressive when you consider that this kid is just a freshman. You know, really, and he didn't. I think he started the last 3 ball games, and was very impressive. And I'd have to concur with Lou Holtz. This guy is something special. He does have quick feet. He's a nice runner, and he's got a great arm. And I know that Lou would like to see him come up with a big play right now.
They send Missler wide to the left, and on 4th down and goal, Taylor with touch this time, and a touchdown.
Boy, that was a great throw.
Oh, to Darrell Mason. So Taylor, who tried to drill it through him twice earlier, with some nice touch this time, and getting Mason in the end zone for the score to make it 31-24 with a conversion attempt coming up. Exasperation.
Well, they were in man-to-man coverage. They were in man-to-man coverage, and they beat Hendrickson, number 5, or was it Jackson? Bill Jackson was on coverage on the tight end, who was the strong safety, and Mason beat him in the end zone.
Leahy's point after is good. So with 2 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the game, it's 31-25.
Now Lou's got to make a decision. Here's the play. You see it from the end zone shot, and you'll see that Mason has beaten just barely Bill Jackson. Jackson almost got there, but also a great throw. Super throw here by Brad Taylor. Straight back into the pocket. He waited, delivered right there, put some air under the ball, and there it is. Touchdown. Great catch by Mason.
2:44 to go. It's going to be a wild finish with Carolina up by 6.
I think this is a very important decision for Lou Holtz. He's got 2:44 left with 2 timeouts to go for the onside kick here, or give the ball to North Carolina, hoping to get it back. I'm guessing that he's going to onside kick it again, particularly with the success that he had the first time.
And I would think also the fact that Carolina's had such great success running the ball, he doesn't want them to have it back.
Kicked it to the other side.
This time a squibber, a ground ball that's picked up at the 7-yard line, and it's Smith who gets racked up back inside the 5. So now the Arkansas defense will have to do something they have been unable to do in the second half, and that is stop the North Carolina attack.
I tell you, that strategy worked out beautifully. He kicked it to the opposite side. Everybody expected the onside kick to the defensive right, or the receiving team's right. He kicked it away from everyone and pinned them clear back on the 5-yard line. If there's anywhere that Holtz wanted that ball, if he was going to give it to North Carolina, it was right there at that 5.
At the 5. Now Arkansas has 2 timeouts left. Carolina has 2 timeouts left, and it's Kelvin Bryant who gets back into the game, and Bryant is stopped back at the line of scrimmage.
They've lost that key thing that they had, was momentum. And now it's all on Arkansas's side with the turn of events here. North Carolina needs a first down very badly to hold on to that 6-point lead, and Crum knows it. And that field position is nowhere to be fooling around with that football.
They'll take as much time on that 25-second clock as they can. On second down, it is Kelvin Bryant getting out only to about the 7, and the clock runs down to 1:57, and Holtz says, give me a timeout here. And they do. 1:55 remaining now. So upcoming is obviously the biggest play of the game for North Carolina now, as they'll need a
good call by Lou Holtz.
Good-sized game. Perfect call.
Third,
if you can stop him.
Yes, sir. That's the time to use it right there. Perfect. 3rd down and long.
1:55 to play in the game. 31-25, Carolina. Biggest play of the game upcoming. 3rd down 7. North Carolina from the 8-yard line. And they give it to Ethan Horton, and he is stacked up at the 10, and Arkansas will get the ball back. And Holtz will take his last timeout right here. He'll take the timeout, stop the clock with 1:48 remaining in the game. He is now out of timeouts, and North Carolina will be forced to punt. So with 1:48 to play in a game in which North Carolina looked as if they had wrapped up earlier when they moved out in front 31-10, they are in a lot of trouble right now.
They sure are, and you've got to credit the Arkansas and Lou Holtz and his staff for judiciously using the clock. They're going to get that ball back with 1:48 left to go, and that's more than enough time.
Official coming over to remind Lou that's your last timeout. No more. He knows.
And they also are very likely to get good field position here.
Hayes to kick. Arkansas has set up a return. They have only 7 men up on the line.
And 3 men also to field any short punt that might come.
Anderson is the deep man. Gary stands at midfield.
He's going to take 2 points.
Yes.
They're going to take 2 points.
Take the safety right here and kick it out from the 20-yard line. That's going to make it 31-27. Alabama, Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl a few years back. You were there.
That's right. That was a beautiful move there. Good common sense, because now they come out to the 20-yard line and get to kick it off, but still there's 1:42 left.
So the safety adds 2. And now they get a free kick from the 20-yard line. So a touchdown will beat you anyway.
Oh, yes.
A field goal still can't beat you because it's 4.
Well, it was the right strategical move, unquestionably, because that touchdown, the extra point, and the consistency of Leahy, of course, you've got to consider the odds that he's going to make that extra point.
Right.
And now we have a 4-point difference where a field goal won't beat him. And then a touchdown is necessary, and instead of getting that ball in great field position, they're going to have a kickoff return, and we'll see what kind of return they get.
Exactly. On the surface, a fine move. Instead of kicking under some pressure from your goal line, you're now kicking free of pressure from the 20-yard line.
A lot of brain trust going on here in this last 3 minutes. And both coaches, both sidelines doing exceptionally well.
Arkansas wins this one. The people that went to sleep at 11:30 Eastern time are going to not believe what they're going to read in the newspaper tomorrow.
Right. Now he's going to punt the ball rather than put the ball down on the tee and kick it off.
Anderson stands back at the 25-yard line, and Hayes puts it in the air.
Trying to get some hang time, and he does.
Good kick, 22-yard line. Anderson out to the 30, the 35, he's to the 40, he's to the 50, he's to the Carolina 49-yard line. So they need to go 49 yards in 1 minute and 36 seconds with no timeouts.
Great return by Anderson. Great field position. This ball was really kicked up in the air, and now it's up in the fog yet that we still have here. Anderson comes over, has to back up and makes a catch there, a quick reaction. Breaks to the outside the contained man because of his quickness, and gets the ball all the way to the Carolina 49. Great return.
Here we go. Missler set out wide to the left on first down. They stay on the ground and give it to Anderson on an interesting call.
Well, again, the draw play is what it was. Taylor went back like he was going to throw the ball and then slipped the ball in there. Good call in a sense, because you'd think that North Carolina is going to be deployed to stop that pass. I'm surprised. Looks like they're in a 2 deep, which is dangerous. North Carolina.
Second down and 8. Taylor unloading deep and no good. Missler, the intended receiver, down at the 30-yard line. So Holtz gets ready to send in the play now with Holloway, who's been their big play man on the receiving end tonight.
Well, he certainly has.
Probably calling Derek's own number here.
Yeah, I would think so. He beat his defender on 2 occasions, came back to catch the ball when he was covered on the other one.
Taylor tonight has thrown for 307 yards. The Arkansas all-time record set by Joe Ferguson, now of course with Buffalo, who threw for 345 in 1971. Third down and 8 from the 47. Taylor scrambling, and down he goes.
Who got him there?
It was Ronnie Sipes. Number 62, Snipes, the backup nose guard.
Boy, what a big play. Woo!
And the clock keeps running. 47 seconds.
Apparently he has a little bit more quickness in there than Poinson. Here he is. He makes the play right there. Hangs on. Finally gets him down.
Wow. So it's 4th and 25 from the 36. They need to get to the 39 of North Carolina, and on 4th down, going deep and knocked down, nearly intercepted, but it's academic on a 4th down play. Steve Hendrickson was the man who nearly picked it off, but it doesn't matter because that'll close the door. But a great comeback attempt by the Arkansas Razorbacks, who looked like they were totally out of it. At 31-10, they were being out-hustled up front. Dick Crum looked like his team had the game totally in hand, and all of a sudden, too quick, Arkansas touchdowns, get the ball back, but come up short.
Boy, it was a tremendous effort on the part of Arkansas. Great comeback, great use of the clock, good decisions, and also you go to the other side of the field. That decision to go ahead with that 2-point safety was a very wise one.
Now Elkin just falling down, and that will do it. So a tough loss for Arkansas. Coming close at the end, but a whale of a ball game, as it turns out, at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. Final score, 31-27, as the Tar Heels win it. North Carolina winning 10 out of 12 this season. Arkansas 8 out of 12. North Carolina victorious here in the Gator Bowl tonight. Our thanks to our statistician, George Hill. Spotter Kelly Hayes, who did his work under these conditions with a laser beam. Pierce O'Neill, Bob Young, our guys in the booth. Dick Crum sends the podium, the winning coach. North Carolina taking the 37th Gator Bowl. Al Michaels for Ara Parsekian, Steve Davis saying so long from Jacksonville. Again, the final, North Carolina 31, Arkansas 27. Be with us Friday, New Year's night for the Sugar Bowl. The second-ranked Bulldogs of Georgia with Herschel Walker. The 8th-ranked Panthers of Pittsburgh with Dan Marino, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Stay tuned for ABC News Nightline 30 minutes from now, 11:30 on the West Coast over most of these ABC stations. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies more people to Hawaii than any other airline. That's what friendly skies are all about. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.